Talking Ball Y'all Media proudly brings to you Friday Night Gridiron, powered by Diamond Productions. Their motto is, we don't set the bar, we raise it. Now let's head out to the stadium and join the voice of the Maroon Tide, Clay Sweet and Ricky Whitaker.
Welcome into another exciting week of Picayune Maroon Tide football as the show's on the road again. We've made a familiar trip, maybe not so much to play football, Rick, but just down the road here in Slidell as the Tide will take on Northshore tonight. Tide with a thrilling win last week over in Gulfport. We'll talk about that a little bit, but let's introduce folks to you. Not that they don't know you, but I'm always so happy to have you in the booth with me to my right side, and whether it's a podcast or just getting a hangout, but certainly on these Friday nights, a special time. Ricky Whitaker, welcome to the booth.
Thanks, bud. Always enjoy being next to you on your right here. Got something good smelling on the grill cooking down there, but boy, it is a balmy hot 86 degrees at kickoff is what we're going to be looking at here at 7 o'clock. Feels like temperature 95. It's a hot one.
Oh, man, it is scorching. If you're taking it in on Facebook, we're just going to send you to our YouTube channel. We're going to use this platform to send you to the YouTube Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. Should have the live action. If you be kind enough, if you go over there, can copy that link and put it in the comments. That would be very kind of you, Rick. As Jackson Harrell, he's up top providing video action, and Diamond Productions, Donnie Pascal and his crew sponsor us each and every week. We appreciate what he's done for the podcast. Let's look back a week, Rick. I always do this with Cody. You'll hear his interview after this opening break and that patented second session of our Malsia Picayune preview show, but a preview pregame pod, if I can get it out, Rick. Made a mess of that. But what impressed you last week with that win over Gulfport?
Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about what we thought the mindset of this team or their identity, I guess if you want to say that, was going to be, and it was just being tough, and I think that's what they showed. They gutted out a very tough, really kind of out-willed Gulfport late in the game to get a win.
Yeah, and you'll hear Cody is funny, man. Y'all think alike when it comes to football. Y'all have heard each other enough, whether it be your call or, of course, you listening to these interviews. It's very similar, man. I think you'll get a kick out of this interview in the next segment. Let's look at the Panthers, Rick. This is an interesting matchup. We go across the state line. We also face a team that didn't have really live reps, so to speak, last week in the terms of a win-loss record. They had a glorified scrimmage a week ago, but this is their opening week. And so kind of tell us what you know about the Panthers. We know that we respect and really like their head coach, and Coach Sanders has been so good to us with his time. He's a generous guy to visit with. But tell us kind of your outlook on the Panthers tonight.
Well, as you mentioned, they had a jamboree game, four-quarter jamboree game last week against Jesuit. Lost that game 17-10. And you look at this team, and what Coach Sanders is trying to do is really get back to the playoffs and make a deep run. 22-23, they were in the playoffs last year, had a 1-9 finish, didn't qualify for the playoffs. So opening up against Picayune and then against John Curtis next week, Coach Sanders certainly trying to put quality opponents on his schedule for his team to get them ready for that district play. But let's start with the offense, Clay, and what we're going to see tonight. I think we'll see a lot of three-man sets with an H-back, some 4, some 5 wide receiver sets, one running back in the backfield. We're going to see a lot of zone read type running, zone read type blocking up front, and we'll see a lot of RPO type stuff. And starting there, the guy that got the start at quarterback last week was actually number 15, Brandon Deere. Had 3 interceptions in the game, did throw a touchdown pass. We don't know if he or Gonzalez, who's only a junior this year, who's going to get the start tonight. Maybe both guys will play. But the success they had last week against Jesuit was really behind their biggest offensive lineman, and they've got a big group up front. Number 65, Evan Orleon. He's a senior, 6'4", 265. I look for them to run behind him tonight. At the running back position, senior Ramon Sanchez, number 27, 5'10", 172. Not the biggest guy, split time in the backfield last year, but still managed 700 yards and 9 touchdowns over the year. He'll be their go-to guy this year. And on the offensive side, looking at the wide receiver group, Mr. Tyson Burns, number 2, he had a 60-yard touchdown, the long touchdown in the game last week. Not a big guy, but the coaches describe him as a playmaker. And you look at the defense, good size up front again there. But, Clay, what Coach Sanders has said is really the strength of the team, and he says their best players are in the secondary. And it's really led by a guy who transferred in from Mississippi. He'll be in number 4 tonight, Alex Mims. He's a big kid, 6 foot, 210. Coach Sanders said he's physical. He said he's a ball hawk, and they'll be relying on him in the run game tonight.
Yeah, I'm pointing to him. He's warming up right in front of us. He's one of those guys, when you get to the ballpark, and I'm a roster nut, right? If I'm going to take in a sporting event, I want to know who's doing what. And he's one of those, when you pay for a program, you instantly say, who is for them?
Yep.
He is a good-looking youngin' for North Shore. When we return after this 2-minute break on our Malsey Picayune pregame show, I made a butchering mess of that a minute ago, didn't I, Slick?
No,
I called it
right.
everything besides a pregame show. Look, you can see I'm sweated down. It's the hot. When we first got here and started setting up, the sun was just baking this little box, and so you can see we worked hard to get on the air tonight, Slick, and I think that little had me messed up there in our Malsey pregame show. Let's look at what Cody Stogner has to say after this 2-minute timeout.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
Malsey Picayune pregame show. Cody, what a dramatic win a week ago against a really good, which I hope and I really think is going to be a really good Gulfport team, but what a way to get started.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to start your season off 1-0, but like you said, that was a really good football team we played. Coach Pink and them do a great job over there, and they were, obviously, you could tell they were really well prepared for us. Our guys just outlasted them for 48 minutes, and that's what I'm really proud of is our fight. And tenacity we showed for 48 minutes. Now I wasn't really proud of a lot of execution we had and also our conditioning. So that's one thing we focused on a lot this week.
Coach, that team up front, and we'll turn our attention to North Shore after this question, but you're an up front guy. You are a lineman, a college lineman at that, so you know certainly what up front play looks like. But I thought Gulfport was really good up front. And, of course, with what we've got, we want to do more than hold our own, and we certainly did that, but that was a great matchup to watch in the trenches last week.
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you this. Their offensive line was a lot better than I thought, and they did. You can tell they were well coached. They did a great job of firing off the football, getting hip to hip, and running that zone read really good, and getting those counter plays real good. So you can tell they've been coached up and just aggressive, and that's what you like about having a good offensive line. And defensively, number 33 and 91. I'm hoping that's about as 2 of the best we'll see all year because those guys were war daddies down in there, and. So that's just a good indication of, it shows us where we need to get better at. And the linebacker core, number 22, is the stud.
Yeah, he was a good player.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things we take away on film. Our grades weren't exactly the greatest, but at the same time, we know, like I said, we outlasted them for 48 minutes. And I'm proud of that.
Coach, in my mind, as a broadcaster, you get the win and you get the grade tough. You get some real good talking points. One of the question marks, not the offensive line as a whole, but the center position. Kind of tell us what you learned last week about that position and what that will look like for the Tide tonight.
Well, it's going to be Jason Jenkins kind of won that spot Friday night. But Jacob is a good spot, comes in a good spot and gives us some good reps there because Jacob also plays multiple positions on the offensive line. Jason's just a center. Jacob can play multiple positions. Also, we might see Jacob some on the defensive line. So It's always going to be a battle. It's always going to be a fight for the bet. We're trying to figure out who gives us the best chance to be successful right there. And it just happened this week. Jason just has won that spot this week, and so time will tell. Always the best thing we can do is get out here and play, and get on that film and see what we can teach and learn from it.
Cody, you've got a great problem to have, but snap count, pitch count, some of these guys, I mean, you're going to want to look out there and see some of the same faces, I'm sure, from your spot. How do you kind of manage that early in this year, or do you just let them roll?
Let them roll. I mean, Coach Feely and Coach Penton do a great job of getting those guys in there when they need to get in there and try to get us fresh legs. So, they all three got to be prepared and ready to go whenever it's time to get in there. And then even with the fullback situation with Macon and Igana, and what a game Igana came in there and played as a sophomore. But just having Macon in there as that senior leadership for us, he makes everybody better around him too. But yeah, it's obviously it's going to be later in the year. Might even go toward the hot hand, but right now they all three got to play a role. It's hot out here.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to run. We want to run a long time and run a long way. So, having all three of them, hoping having fresh legs will be beneficial for us, especially down the long run.
Coach, they hit us with a big play, a couple big plays in special teams, but I thought our defensive secondary played pretty well against a tough group. But, you mentioned Coach Pennick, the way he prepares them, he shows you some different things, motions and routes. How did you think our secondary played?
I thought our secondary played awesome. I mean, I can't even think about the time they really threw the ball down the field and really hurt us. It was really more of the dink and dunk stuff, and obviously number 5. I mean, number 5 is going to hurt a lot of people.
Ooh.
But I was really proud and pleased with the way our defensive backs played, because that was a big question mark going into this season, replacing Bam and replacing a lot of players back there. So just look for that group to get better and better and better, and and that's a good thing, because now we can put a little bit more. We can do a little bit more things with our defensive scheme, and knowing that we have that comfort and that pillow back there.
Coach, one last question. If we're going to make the jump kind of on the grades and the improvement, you want to see where it come from tonight, you think?
Effort and attention to detail. That's really all the things. We got the talent. It's the two things that we can control. And I talked about it last week. It's our effort, because our effort wasn't the greatest at all times Friday night, and our attention to detail. Our attention to detail has got to be that much more cleaner and better.
Thank you, Coach.
Sir, roll time.
So there, Rick, is one of my favorite segments of the show here on our Mossy Picayune pregame show, is to kind of get your thoughts on what you heard from Cody Stogner in our pregame interview with him.
Well, I mean, it made us feel like we were looking through the right lens at the game. He referenced something that you talked about, the secondary and how well they played. They'll need to play well again tonight against a pretty pass-heavy team with Northshore. And then he referenced snap count, things like that, riding the hot hand. We don't know who that's going to be. We're blessed, as you said, to have a lot of options at the tailback position, and we'll just have to see who gets hot and does that. But the effort, paying attention to details, I think that he's probably talking about penalties, right? Offsides, things like that. That's the attention to detail. A bot snap, a special teams issue, a kick return for a touchdown. That's the details I think he's talking about. He's looking to see cleaned up tonight.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting when we get this answer in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes out from kick here on our Mossy Picayune pregame show. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. When we return, Rick, we'll take a deeper dive into this matchup tonight.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need your help. Your vote makes the difference. This is Sandy Kane Smith, and I will see you at the polls.
Paid for by Sandy Kane Smith for Tax Assessor Collector.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? Then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side. making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Making decisions on when and where to further your education is a big step in life, so let Pearl River Community College be the destination for you. Pearl River offers the first 2 years of any major and over 42 career and technical programs. They have 3 locations to better serve your educational needs. The Hancock Center at 454 Highway 90 Suite D in Waveland, the Forest County Center at 5448 Highway 49 South in Hattiesburg, and the main campus located at 101 Highway 11 North in Poplarville. Pearl River Community College. Roll, River, roll.
Hello, football fans. Devin Smith here with Remax Premier Group in Picayune. It's August, and that means one thing. It's football season. Our area schools have worked so hard to give us all something to be excited about. I take great pride in my football roots in Pearl River County, and I'm honored to serve our people. I look forward to helping residents, both old and new, make Pearl River County their home. I would love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. You can contact me at our office, 601-798-3399 or 601-347-2641, or you can catch me in the stands cheering on my favorite players under those Friday night lights.
Rick, let's look at some of the numbers from a week ago for Picayune. Colt Robertson through the air. We had him 3 of 11, 28 yards, but a huge touchdown. Really, the clutch throw that he needed to make. He made it to a open player, but sometimes those throws, like a wide open layup, can be hard if those nerves when you look out there. And Zay Dennis was by himself, but a big throw and a big catch and a nice moment there for Colt Robertson and Zay Dennis to have that connection in a big spot. 22 carries for Zay Dennis, 175 yards. He was averaging 8 per was Zay Dennis. Of course, he had a touchdown catch in that ball game. You heard Cody Steigner talk about this young man, Kylan Igana player, of course, lineage through Picayune football, linebacker from a few years ago. Troy Igana was as good as they get, picking up right where Troy left off. 10 attempts, 57 yards, averaged nearly 6 per. From that fullback, that's really big news, and he had a touchdown. There was really an Igana-type drive in that ball game that was big, and the sophomore had, of course, a lot to do with that. Played on the defensive side as well. The Bull, Macon Burnett, he had 5 attempts, 13 yards, 2.5 per. Jamari Hathorn, we'll call him Moto throughout the broadcast. He sealed the deal with a pick in the secondary, but on the ground, 9 for 49. And Rick, he was part of kind of that Igana drive, or that portion of the ball game. May have been a separate drive where those two guys provided a shot in the arm for the offense in the backfield.
Yeah, they really did, Clay. And you look at it, it was really a running back by committee. We know that Zay had the bulk of it, but as a unit, the Maroon Tide averaged about 7.5 yards per carry. That's pretty good. I mean, that's right around what Zay's number was, just a notch off. So got the job done on the ground, and I think it's going to be another test for them tonight to try to get the ground game going. You mentioned Colt's numbers. In all fairness, I think there was maybe one throw in one-on-one where that Colt probably wishes he would have had back, but I think a lot of those throws, it was just really good coverage by Gulfport. We had one to Ontario Wilkins in the end zone. I think he caught a cramp in the air and had to drop, so maybe would have made his numbers look a little bit better, but I think we'll see him bounce back tonight.
We mentioned in that statement right there, cramps. Cramps was a story for both teams a week ago, and it's not a whole lot cooler tonight, Rick. The sun, thankfully, has begun to set here in Slidell. It's a beautiful night, just a hot evening, and with Northshore having their first real game. And when you play a glorified scrimmage, the heart's just not going to beat as quick. You're not going to sweat as much. The reality is it just doesn't mean as much as it will here tonight when you have the visiting Maroon Tide coming to town. Cody talked about fitness. We're asking a lot of probably, what would you say, 10 to 15 guys who are being asked to do a bunch on both sides of the ball. How do you kind of think this plays out tonight in the heat?
Well, I mean, I think it really starts through the week, right? And we have teenage kids of our own that do athletics, and I've heard you and you've heard me talk about drink water, do this, do that. You really got to start your hydration not just today or yesterday. It's got to be throughout the week. So getting in a groove on that is going to be a big deal. I think they'll manage it a little bit better. I mean, it's just so hot, man. It's going to be hard to eliminate it. But I think it's been an emphasis for Cody and his staff to really stay on these kids to hydrate more earlier. So I think we'll see an improvement from last week.
And when you look at that, Rick, we both coached, not at this level, but we've both coached and turned and looked at our best player over our right or left shoulder when they're catching a break, and you've got that sensation like, hey, what is so-and-so doing over here by me in a competitive game, in a competitive spirit? Oh, man, do away with a pitch count or the snap count. Let's go win one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's natural, and that's who you want kind of leading the charge as a guy in a historic spot in Milner Stadium against a tradition that is Gulfport. And there's a lot to the way the week went, the way the season starts with a check in one column opposed to the other. And so getting a win last week, although the kids really had to gut it out, that was a valuable win, in my opinion, to start the year.
It was a huge win, Clay, and I think, the defense was probably, and knowing Coach Hayden as competitive as he is, and we know that about him, I think that the defense took the points that were scored, even though it was against a great opponent personally, and I think we'll be looking for a good surge tonight from our front line and really the defense as an entirety. When you look at it, Clay, you already mentioned number 4 for North Shore. Clay's got this all-uniform team. I love that. They got a couple all-uniform teams on that defensive front for the Maroon Tide, and I think those guys are going to get after the quarterback. When you watch the film on North Shore, the big plays that they hit on, they take time to develop. And you get a quarterback that has got a guy running down in his face, tends to throw off his back foot a little bit. I think we'll have a big night from our D-tackle, and I look for a few sacks from Picayune's defense tonight.
Yeah, we talked about our young people that we're raising. You can get a look at Sophie here in the background, Rick's daughter, and then mine's up top running the huddle film for Picayune tonight. He had a soccer fitness test prior to the ball game in this heat. He walked right by me without a drink in sight in his hand, so I'll have to run him a water in between breaks. But the point I'm making is the student body for North Shore got here early, and they know who they know, right? It's social media. It's these, you're trading pictures and trash all week long, but they immediately honed in on Nolan Wilson and Mitchell Smith. I don't know if that's the best move during warm-ups to stoke their fire a bit, but we'll find out here in about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll return in a minute, in just a 1-minute break. We'll tell you how they're dressed tonight, who are the captains, and we'll get this one underway. Go visit Heron Ford, located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi. They are your proud local Ford Lincoln dealer. Whether you're looking for a used car or a new car, or if you have service needs, visit Herring Ford, once again located on Memorial Boulevard in Picayune, Mississippi.
Looking for a peaceful home-like community for yourself or a loved one? Welcome to Jubilee Gardens Senior Living in charming Poplarville, Mississippi, just minutes from Hattiesburg and Gulfport. Imagine cozy, garden-themed suites with wide doorways, step-free entry, safety rails, and a covered porch perfect for sipping coffee while watching birds and butterflies. Feel supported, not overwhelmed. Our all-inclusive services include daily housekeeping, fresh home-cooked meals at our Birdhouse Bistro, and a calendar full of wellness programs and social activities. Families say we chose Jubilee Gardens because it felt like home. One resident shares, "I spend my mornings on the porch drinking coffee and watching the birds. It calms me in a way I never experienced before." To experience the comfort and independence of Jubilee Gardens yourself, call 601-818-4838 or email jubileegardens.care@gmail.com. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's Jubilee Gardens Senior Living, with dignity, safety, and joy in every detail.
You can hear that in the background as we are on the home side tonight, as you could hear a spatter of boos as the Picayune Maroon Tide have made their way to the far sideline. You can hear the great band for the Maroon Tide strike up as the Tide going to be in gray breeches tonight, white tops, maroon numerals, those beautiful maroon headgear. The homestanding Panthers going to be in white bottoms, navy blue tops, white numerals trimmed out in that beautiful powder blue. A nice turf stadium here for North Shore. We're about to get the prayer and the anthem, Rick. We'll just keep it right here. We'll hang tight. We'll go silent during the prayer. We'll attempt to let the anthem bleed into our mics, but we'll keep you here. So there, an outstanding rendition of our national anthem. We'll see if we get a prayer or not here. If not, we'll continue to roll. If you hear us go silent again or let the prayer try to bleed over the airwaves, that's certainly what is going on. Slick, as big a win, this kind of speaks to where the Tide program is, right? You go on the road and beat Gulfport in a thriller. Cody didn't sound all that happy about it. I mean, he admitted nice to get the win, but he didn't sound particularly thrilled with the way the Tide played. That may be the best sign of all, right?
I think you're right, Clay, and I think anytime you can get a win against a very good football team and have things to work on, and I think it's just the mindset of Coach Stogner, his staff, and really what's been the mentality of Picayune now for a long time is you're focusing on what you can fix, right? And if you're thinking about what you can fix every week, it takes complacency out of the playbook, right? And I know they don't want to be that complacent. They've got big plans every year to make these deep runs. And just kind of to point out, Clay, it does look like number 5, Gonzalez, one of the captains tonight, like I said, he didn't play last week. A lot of the RPO from the senior quarterback, but not a lot of runs. I look for 5 to keep some of those, so we'll have to keep him in check tonight.
And different, in Mississippi high school football, the coin flips make-believe. I hate to ruin that for anybody that thinks different, but that's decided beforehand. They get the coaches together, and it's basically a make-believe scenario. Cody was saying beforehand, or Adam was telling me, in Louisiana, it is the kids that get out there, verbalize what you want done. And so kind of interesting for our group, and our group being Macon Burnett, Colt Robertson, Jordan Hathorn, and he'll have to turn, and that is Brody Kirkland. That is Brody Kirkland, the 4 captains for the Tide once again. Brody Kirkland, Colt Robertson, Macon Burnett, and Jordan Hathorn. 44 pretty good ones there for the Maroon Tide on what's going to turn out to be a really nice night, Rick. That sun is going down, some beautiful clouds in the sky. The Lord's given us a beautiful night for football. North Shore going to be set to receive. They'll put the young man who has gotten a bunch of mentions already in our pregame show. That's going to be Alex Mims, who was set to go back deep, but they're going to move him. Oh, they're going to move everybody, right? If you're watching on the stream, enjoy this. North Shore, to get things started, had gone to the wrong end to receive, and so they'll make the jog from right to left, add to their warm-ups here tonight. I thought they were just moving Mims, Rick, and then you saw all of North Shore begin to move from right to left, and that's what you see there on the stream. Once again, thanks to Mossy of Picayune for their pregame sponsor. We appreciate Diamond Productions bringing you Talking Ball Y'all football on Friday nights. No place I'd rather be, as Eddie Cruz has it teed up over on the right hash at the 40-yard mark. Boy, Eddie's a fun guy to visit with. I call him Eddie. The legal name, Eddie Cruz. Teammates call him Eddie. It's hard not to fall into that rhythm.
Yeah, he's a fun guy to watch, Clay. And these deep backs for North Shore have certainly done their homework, watched their film. They were standing with their heels almost in the end zone. Eddie's definitely got the leg to kick one really deep.
Yeah, that's where Cooper Crosby was able to return a 99-yarder against this group a week ago. Some adjustments have been made by special teams coach Neil Lawler. We'll see how it plays out. Here's a kick. Tide maybe can get on it. It was one of those angling type kicks. It skipped down at the 30-yard line forward to the 29, and the Panthers got on it, Rick, and I'm not really sure how, as that was awfully close to being one of those extended type onside kicks, and the Tide almost got on it but did not.
Yeah, the ball actually squirted out of bounds. That happens sometimes, but yeah, had a good chance. I think North Shore was not expecting that to happen, but it did, and Picayune had a couple of players right there, just couldn't come up with it. And now let's get a look at what this defense is going to do here on this first drive.
Yep, going to be interesting to find out. They'll face a 3 wide receiver set to the right of the formation. 1 long wide receiver to the left. That's going to be Deere, the quarterback, not Gonzalez. They'll send a slot man in motion, loop him back out to the right, and that's who's got it caught. And Gonzalez, a double pass. He'll let it go after the catch. So tricky play by Coach Sanders to get things started. A double pass. We were checking for Gonzalez, and then not to see him at the quarterback role, but yet lined up in the slot. But he played quarterback anyway, Ricky Whitaker.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you've got a double pass call, they almost throw it every time. Really good coverage by the Maroon Tide. And I wondered if they were going to use the H-back or if they were going to try to spread this Picayune defense out. It looks like they're opting to spread them out. Actually, they do have an H-back line up to the left here. Let's see if they stay that way.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 29 of the Panthers. It's North Shore and Picayune on a Friday night. Tide 1-0 on the year. First game for the Panthers. Tide looked to have gotten a head start off that left side, or somebody moved. I don't see a hanky right off. It's going to be a gain of 2 off the left, as that was Williams with the carry. But, Rick, I didn't see a flag, but it looked like early movement.
Yeah, it looked like Big Mitchell Smith got a jump, but I think he got back before he crossed the neutral zone. So nice heady play by him, but got to watch that hard count from the Panthers here.
Good call by you. Got a more profitable spot than I would have thought. We're going to put it on the 33 and call it a 3rd and 7. Ball on the left hash. Shotgun formation. That's Gonzalez at the quarterback spot. He's got a tailback off his right hip. That will be Williams. Ramon Williams now claps forward and has gotten it. Has Gonzalez under all kinds of pressure. Eluded the first wave, but not the second. Gobbled up and sacked by Mitchell Smith. The 4-star missed him, but the other 4-star got him. He was able to elude Nolan Wilson, but couldn't get out of the way of the 6'4", 305 Mitchell Smith.
Yeah, and Javen Bolden in there as well, really the entire front line. And we talked about that a little bit, Clay, with this North Shore offense. those long developing plays are going to be trouble for them. We'll see them run really a ball control type offense. They'll often go to the line and get the call in. They take their time and run clock, but that time Picayune's defense stands. And
the punt is going to be a beauty. Going to drive Picayune all the way back to the 19-yard line. What an effort. What a kick by Lackney. Lackney, the junior, what a beautiful punt. Rick really flips the field, and he's going to get it to the 19. Got an incredible bounce and roll. Good effort by that young man. Really helps his defense just getting underway. 0-0 our score, 10-11 to go in our opening quarter. If you're watching the booth cam, you've got access to YouTube. Go find Talking Ball, y'all there. You can actually watch the game. Ball on the right hash. One long wide receiver, that will be Adarius Fortenberry. Split backfield is Burnett and Dennis. It's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis looking to work off the right side. Not a whole lot of any room over on that right side. Maybe got the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. We'll see where they put it down, but good job by the Panthers flying to the football, and they'll say nope, line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 19 of the Tide. Good pursuit there by the Panthers. Illett, the wide receiver, to the right side. I believe that's Jordan Hathorn over at the wing, and a whistle right at the start of the play. It was going to be an underneath give for the top, but we'll get a stop as it was going to go to Burnett, but they're going to say North Shore either lined up. Well, no, they won't. Let's see. Yep, either lined up, offsides, or jumped. Either way, Ty going to get 5 yards, Rick, and that's really a big deal because that play wasn't going to get much. You get a whistle.
Try to go with a quick trap there to the bull, and North Shore's defense, the first couple of plays, played pretty well.
But you get a do-over and you get 5 in the right direction. So 2nd and 5 from the Tide 24. Colt Robertson tucks himself under center. He's gotten the football, giving it to Zay Dennis. Dennis with enough wiggle to get the sticks and then some. Going to create space up to the 36-yard line. So a 12-yard pickup there for Zay Dennis. And, man, he's got some swivel and wiggle in those hips. He can make people miss at a high rate of speed. He's fun to watch, is Zay Dennis. A big week a week ago, had 175 yards, did Zay Dennis. He had a rushing touchdown and a reception for a touchdown. He's gotten the power again. He is making a guy miss at 45 up to near midfield. What a big run there by Dennis. He's got a start move that's different from recent backs for Picayune, as he's a yard short of midfield, but that's a first down run. And, Rick, we've had some really good backs roll through Picayune history of late, certainly. But he's got a move there. Well, he will just completely stop. It's not even basically a change of pace. I mean, he will just come to a complete stop, let a defender blow by him before he starts his run again, and it's working so far. Here's a give to Macon Burnett. Burnett going to fight across midfield to the 48 of North Shore. About a 3 or 4 yard gain. Bring up 2nd and 7. 8 minutes remain in our opening quarter. No score. North Shore's had it once, forced a punt on a 3 and out. Tide's first possession. Started at the 19, now have it to the 48 of North Shore.
Yeah, Clay, you love to see back-to-back double-digit runs by Zay. Had one for 12 and then had one for 10. Off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, tells you the O-line's creating some space. Colt Robertson tucked in tight under center. It's a pitch to Hathorn. Hathorn stopped. He thought a whistle had blown. Picks up the run again and is going to hit a big play after the fact. What a strange play as Hathorn had it, stopped like there was a whistle blown, and then the sideline from Picayune tells Moto, hey, run the football. He proceeds to do so up to about the 33-yard line. A flag at the end of this strange play, Rick. It looks like are going to get penalized maybe. No, he's headed in the right direction with the football, but tell our listeners maybe better than I did what Moto just did.
It tells you a lot about Moto's athleticism. Anytime a running back can stop, I guess he thought he heard a whistle that no one else heard, and then they tell him go, and he picks up a nice yard. Nice gain on the play.
What a bizarre play, as there will be a flag against the Tide, but it's going to have to be a spot-type penalty because they're just bringing it back to the 46-yard line, 46 of North Shore. What a weird play that was. Going back and looking at Huddle this week, I had to go find that play. If you remember, had to fumble in the backfield last week, and then his athleticism allowed him to pick it up and advance it. Second, let's call it 7. Here's the pitch to Jamari Hathorn, running room 40, 35 before he dragged out of room off the left side. What a good job by this line for the Maroon Tide. Edgar Cruz, Javen Bolden, Jenkins, Burnett, and Mitchell Smith creating space off that left side and allowing Moto to go to work. That's Jason Jenkins starting at the center position. You heard Cody Steigner speak to that in our Mossy of Picayune pregame show. Tied with a good drive working here, Ricky Whitaker.
Yep, nice 10-yard pickup there by Mr. Hawthorne.
He's at the tailback is Jamari Hathorn, and he's through the hole quickly. A good spin move at about the 30-yard line. Gets him to the 25 with the spin. We'll mark him down for an 11-yard gain for Jamari Hathorn's got it to the 25 of North Shore. Ty going from right to left in front of us if you're taking it in on the audio side. If you're watching it on YouTube, you probably thought that comment was funny, as you can see that they're going right to left. We're under the 6:30 mark here in our opening quarter. Ty got a 3 and out, and now putting together a good drive, a good start to this one.
Yeah, running a lot of clock. That's what you want to see.
Here's a fake toss, but a give to the fullback. That is the sophomore, Colin Igana with a 12-yard pickup. Good run by Colin. Going to get it to the 14-yard line. And what a play, Rick. A little wrinkle there as a good fake maybe is a better way to put it by the quarterback and the tailback really selling that. Maybe not a wrinkle, but just a better job delivering that fake, as there will be a timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. This is probably the Heat timeout. We're at the midway point of the quarter. 6 minutes exactly, Rick, and Tide have driven it to the 14-yard line of North Shore.
Yeah, and that's now the fifth run that's been 10 plays or more. So Maroon Tide rushing attack, getting it done with chunks. And, boy, Agana shows his strength. As you mentioned, just a sophomore. I think everyone in the secondary had their arms around him. What tackled him was the whistle.
Yeah,
he wasn't on the ground.
Right. Yeah, man. And when you get around him, Rick, certainly in pads you can see it, but you catch this young man in a pair of shorts, and like you can see his lower half is so strong. Tip of the cap to his younger brother, Cam Agana, in the 9th grade Tide team, pulling off a brilliant come-from-behind win against the Admirals on Tuesday night, and Cam must have had 15 or 20 stops from his linebacker position. He's going to be a really good player for the Tide. Here on the varsity level, Tide 0-0, but have driven it to the 14 of North Shore. Jordan Hathorn, cousin of Jamari Hathorn, over at the left wing. That's Zay Dennis as the wing moves from left to right. That's Macon Burnett at the full. Here's a pitch to Zay Dennis. Made himself small at about the 6. Squeezed through a tight spot down, I believe, to the 4, did Zay Dennis. Zay a small back, but he's crafty. He knows every little move to gain another yard or so, and was able to do that on that carry.
Yeah, really good vision there. Makes a jump cut, kind of goes against the grain, but saw a crease and gets in it, and another 10-yard gain by Mr. Dennis.
Good job there by Zay, and I've got us messed up, Rick. I've got it at the 4. It's at the 9. Here's a carry from Zay Dennis. Just extend his touchdown run a bit. Give him a 9-yarder for the man dressed in 9. Zay Dennis going to cap off a drive that he helped start. And Tide, so many guys here getting the ball early on that drive and producing. Felt like 9 or 10 yards a pop on the rush. Rick will be able to tell us more about that with his Diamond Productions drive summary after this Eddie Cruz PAT attempt. The snap back is a good one. The hold is nice, and the kick is right through. So good job there for the Maroon Tide. A nice snap back by McKinley, good hold by Rayburn, and a nice kick by Eddie Cruz. Tell us how the Tide got on the board, Ricky Whitaker.
Great opening drive, Clay, for the Maroon Tide. They run 10 plays. They go 81 yards. They take 4 minutes and 49 seconds off of the clock. And if you look at it, we had some good ones there. Zay Dennis tops it off with a 9-yard touchdown. Maroon Tide as a unit, 9 rushes, 74 yards. That's over 8 yards per carry. Zay Dennis led the way with 5 for 38. And then we had right behind him Jamari Hawthorne, Mr. Moto, 2 for 20. Colin Nagana picked up a good hard run as well. Maroon Tide offense looking really good on the ground tonight to start this game, Clay.
Yeah, great start for the Tide. 7-0, our scoreboard bug at the bottom. We'll get that updated as soon as we can. But 7-0, our score. 5:22 to go in our opening frame. Tide have looked dominant in their snaps defensively, got a 3-and-out, and then also were really good with that drive that Ricky Whitaker just described. An angling type kick. Cruz has hit it perfectly, but it will fall out of bounds. Just couldn't get that gunner down in time to dive on that one, but not sure that you can hit it any better from Eddie Cruz's standpoint. But North Shore will have pretty good starting field position. Penalty flag as the ball did get out of bounds. So a great opening drive for your Maroon Tide after they forced a 3-and-out. North Shore now going to have it for its second possession. Officiating crew huddling together here, trying to get it sorted out. Secondary for the Tide, Jamari Hathorne, Cam Quinn, Adarius Fortenberry, Jordan Hathorne back at the safety position. Linebackers for the Maroon Tide, that's Amari Scott and Kelvin Stallings. Stallings played well last week. You've got Brody Kirkland as part of those linebackers as well. Fried up over on the end, snuck up on the line of scrimmage to show a 5-man front. Draw play to get things started, and a nice one, a good run as Williams going to sprint ahead across midfield to the Tide 46 goes Ramon Williams. First down for the Panthers, their first down of the night, and there was a flag after the fact. That was a defensive secondary player for the Tide, tied up with a wide receiver. And now they will move it down to, let's see, the 32-yard line. So a personal foul. So what turns out to be a good run from Ramon Williams is made even better by a personal foul. Now at the 33-yard line of the Tide. 2 wide receivers to the right of the formation. A H-back over on the left along with a wide receiver. Williams off the right hip of Gonzalez. Gonzalez going to give it to his tailback. Williams working to the left side. That's going to be Brody Kirkland with the stop, but not before Williams able to pick up a 4-yard gain.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's a great pickup for North Shore on first down. You get 4 yards, you're not behind the 8 ball. Changes the play calling a little bit on second down.
Tide lead this one 7-0, 4:37 to go in our opening quarter. Ball rest just outside the 30-yard line of the Tide. The Bolden move there. There's a quick whistle. They're going to tell the Tide sideline to back up. I'm not sure. I think that was the flag, and the whistle was just to have the Tide sideline to be warned. Bolden's got a quick twitch reflex on him right there at the line of scrimmage as he was ready to rock and roll. 2nd and 7, a pass over the middle, incomplete. Dropped at about the 14, had a tight end running free, open end route, but could not hold on to it, so will be 3rd and 7. Tide bit on a play action, and that allowed, let's call it a slot receiver to run open through the middle of the field, but incomplete, no harm done. Will bring up 3rd and 7 from just outside the 30-yard line of the Tide. Third and 7. See if the Tide can put some pressure here on Gonzalez. 4:07 remaining in our opening quarter. 2 wides to the right of this formation will be a give to Ramon Williams. And Williams a thumper. He's not huge, but he runs with some authority. We've already seen that tonight. Coach Sanders likes what he has in that tailback position. Runs it straight ahead, and it's got a nice pickup. Got more than half of the yardage needed. Now we'll set up a 4th, and let's call it a long 2. Ball rest at the 25. Gonzalez can run, so can Williams. The tailback off his left in the shotgun formation. Overset sides, the wide side of the field, the right, had the most personnel for North Shore, but there will be a flag prior to the snap, and that's a bad penalty if you're a Panther fan. As you're going to back up 5. We'll love it from the Tide perspective as you go from 4th and 2 to 4th and 7, Rick.
Yeah, you don't want that. Had the extra yardage and really haven't been able to do anything with it since the penalty that helped them out.
See what head coach Cody Steigner and defensive coordinator Seth Hayden have up their sleeve here. 4th and 7. Here's another whistle, Rick, and just as we say, up their sleeve, they'll burn a timeout. You see Seth Hayden burn a timeout. He's going right to a Tidesman trying to figure out exactly what the young man was thinking pre-snap, make sure he's on the same page. And Rick, that's a timeout that maybe doesn't get burned on 1st and 2nd down. As a coach, you're trying to think, can I live with this pre-snap? But not on 4th down, right? Not down where the ball rests at the 31. You're going to make sure that everyone's on the same page defensively.
Yeah, you have to, Clay. And I think they're trying to figure out, too, if you're North Shore, do you want to try to get points here? I think North Shore feeling a bit undermatched coming into this game tonight. I mean, it's a good football team that they're playing here, but do you want to get points? Is it better for the morale to do that, or do you leave here empty? So I think they're going to go for it, and I think it's the right call.
Yeah, me too. In high school football, Rick, that would be a tough kick. I mean, you're looking at a 47-yarder if you were to attempt it. Just listening to Coach Sanders and seeing some of his press clippings and seeing the first punt, I think he likes his special teams, but that would be a big ask.
Yeah.
You're already trailing 7. I like the move here. 4th and 7. Same formation prior to the timeout. Williams on the right hip of Gonzalez. Gonzalez in a shotgun, claps for it. He's rolled out to the right. He can run for it if he wants to. 25 up to the 22, and that's going to be enough with forward progress to the 21 to be a 1st down. And Gonzalez a bit scary, Rick, when he roams that way. A bit of Jalen Hurts action if you took that one in last night. Saw the greenery and took it.
Yeah, and I tell you, Clay, I don't think he expected Big 74 to be the one to catch him from behind, but that's a great hustle there by Nolan Wilson.
Yeah, coming from that backside, the Alabama commit. And here is a flag fest. We have seen a whistle or a flag on a bunch of these prior to. They've already warmed both sidelines. We get it. You got to get back. But let's play football as well. 2:43.
Yeah.
I like a warning of the sideline, Rick, when they've actually kind of had to bump into them running down the side or something. But this early in the night, let's make a few friends and play football. 2:43 to go in our opening quarter. Tied on top 7-0. North Shore, though, driving. Williams looking for space. Won't find it. He'll find Nolan Wilson instead. Him, Bolden, and Mitchell Smith smother up Gonzalez. He just had success, Rick, running the football. Thought he would there, but it closed quickly.
Yeah, and these defensive linemen can do that. We've talked a lot already about the speed and length, how quickly Nolan can close in, and did that again that play. Credit them, though, the play before where they picked the first down up, Picayune was bringing the heat. They were blitzing both linebackers, but able to hold out enough where the quarterback could roll out and get the first down. It's a big second down here for Northshore.
After a loss of 4, drops it back to the 25 of Picayune. Got it out of his hands quickly. A nice catch made out in the flats to the 19-yard line on the catch. That's a really good tackle over there by the Tide as well, as that was a nice catch to Tyson Burns. Rick told you about him in our pregame show.
I believe that was Zay Dennis on the tackle, Clay, and about as good as you can do with that. Very minimal pickup.
Yeah, good tackle after the catch. Was a physical play there by the undersized but tough Zay Dennis. 3 wide receivers set to the right. Tailback going to be off the right hip. We've seen this formation. This has been the majority of the sets. 1 lone wide receiver over to the left. And that one-on-one coverage in the top of your screen, I believe that's Fortenberry. It is, and Gonzalez just had to tuck it and get what he could, as that was really good. Stress, pressure coming from A.K. Burnett was leading the charge off the edge, Rick, and he got back there in some kind of hurry.
Yeah, he did, man. It's a great push here by this defensive line for the Tide early on, and Fortenberry pressing that last play, pressing in that single-man coverage. To do that, you got to have Coach Hayden's trust, and Fortenberry's certainly proven that.
Yeah, really good athlete. Here is that long field goal we talked about. It's actually the exact distance that it would have been a moment ago, and it's blocked. Tide going to block a 47-yard attempt. That was Fortenberry, Stallings, and for the Tide, Corleone Smith coming off the edge. We'll get an exact number or name on the block on that kick. Greg Ducker or Jeremy Shesby will get us a number or name on the exact kick. 7-0 Tide lead it. Discard that attempt of a kick for a 47-yard field goal with a block. That was a good job defensively to stiffen at the end of the drive and, of course, to block the field goal attempt. Tide going to take over at the 30, their own 30. This is Tanner Rayburn in at quarterback. He gives to Zay Dennis, 35-40. A leap ahead over a defender to the 46-yard line goes Zay Dennis, and a 16-yard run by Dennis. We're seeing a really nice night from him already, Ricky Whitaker, as we close in on the end of this quarter.
Yeah, Zay's off to a good start already, Clay. We're just starting the second drive for the Maroon Tides. They already got 52 yards on 6 carries here in the first quarter. That's knocking on 9 yards per carry.
Absolutely good start here for the Tide. Lead at 7-0. We'll return after this 2-minute timeout in the quarter break. Second quarter will start with the Tide on top, 7-0.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has proudly served the people of South Mississippi with dedication, skill, and results. Whether you are facing a complex legal battle or simply need trusted guidance, our team will work tirelessly to deliver the outcome you deserve. Bill and his experienced team handle a wide range of legal matters, from real estate closings to personal injury, and from wills and probate to criminal defense. We've got you covered. When life gets complicated, we're here to simplify the process and fight for you. With 2 convenient locations in Pearl River County, Cruz Law Firm is ready to stand by your side. Call 769-242-2500 to schedule a consultation for your specific need. That's 769-242-2500, because your future is worth fighting for.
Just a reminder, if you're taking in the booth cam, go to our Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. It's free. discard any scammers. I can see them in their comments, but I can't do anything with the booth cam. Anything we put out will be on the Talking Ball Y'all YouTube channel. Discard the scammers that are out there. Looking to throw. This is Rayburn taking a shot to Agana, and he's caught it. Great. No, that's Wilkins. Excuse me. Well, I was wrong twice, Rick. He didn't catch it. I thought he was throwing it to Kylan Agana, but that was Ontario Wilkins, our tight end. And I thought he caught the football at the 41-yard line of North Shore, but they're going to say incomplete. I think Ontario's got a pretty good case, if you have video review there, Rick, that he may have caught that football. Is a nice throw by Rayburn.
Yeah, Rayburn put it right on the money, Clay, and I agree with you. I think Wilkins is pretty disgusted, thought he had a catch there.
Kyler King checking in on the old Facebook machine. Man, love me some Kyler King. We appreciate the years that he has given to the Maroon Tide, a champion in a bunch of different ways. Tall sweep over to the left side. Minimal pickup. Haven't said that much tonight when it's been in the belly of Zay Dennis, but the Panthers got there quickly, only going to allow a yard or let's say 2 where they spotted 3rd and 8. Ball spotted at the 47 of the Maroon Tide over on that left hash. Tide lead at 7-0, 11:20 to go in our second quarter. 2 wide receivers set to the right side. That's Jordan Hathorn in closest. And a big pop here to Jamari Hathorn. And he is still alive, but he's spinning, and that's dangerous for the Tide with that spin. And a little extracurricular back behind the play. AK's got to control himself. If that was semi-dirty play, or at least a little extra on the end of it by Brown Cherry, the big defensive lineman. Dirty may have been strong for me. I apologize, but it was certainly extra. He's catching an earful here on the near sideline, Rick, as he really laid and stayed on A.K. Burnett for an extra beat or 2, and that's going to draw a flag. Tide also have somebody down at the end of the play. Hathorn was going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but at one point in the run, Rick, he was 8 or 9 yards deep, kind of spinning around. And I said scary because when you spin, that ball is so close to a helmet popping loose. So we've got a stoppage on the field. We'll use it so that you can kind of clean up what was that run for the Tide.
Yeah, ended up managing positive yards. It looks like they're going to spot it around the 48. If they do that, ended up being a 1-yard run. But, Clay, I think you caught it correctly. I mean, it was just a dirty play. You're getting blocked and just decide to kind of lay on top of the guy blocking. And that's certainly not going to help your defense out. He doesn't have the ball, but it's also going to cost you some yardage.
Yeah, and the bad part for North Shore is they had done a really good job kind of recently there against the rush, and you give the Tide 15, which we'll certainly take down to the 38-yard line once it's walked off, and you pump some life into this offense that's already been good tonight, leading at 7-0, scored with its long drive on the night. Tanner Rayburn, the sophomore, in at quarterback. He'll toss it to Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn loose. 25, great cut. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. A beautiful 41-yard touchdown run and a absolute cleanup of a block at about the 23-yard line. We'll credit him on a post-game show with that block if we don't get details on it sooner. As just cleaned up 2 Panthers midway through that run. Right when I said a beautiful cut, the block came, and a good job all the way around as Jordan Hathorn going to get a touchdown run. Had one a week ago on a reverse type or counter type action. He's got one tonight, does Jordan. Wait the point after. There is a Panther down at the goal line. We can get a text saying exactly who that block came from, as it was one that needs to be credited. And what a cut, right, Rick? I mean, Cam Quinn was the young man that provided the spectacular block. Rick, when you look at it, so many different guys. I mean, you've done an excellent job with this spreadsheet through the years. You really having to work from column to row, from column to row. Like, you checking some boxes tonight. How many Tidesmen have touched it, and what's the yardage so far, Ricky Whitaker?
So five Tidesmen have touched it. They've netted with 11 total rushes, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, and knocking on 12 yards per carry. That last one only took 3 plays. Had a big penalty there, and then Hawthorne, on his first touch of the night, goes in from 41 yards out.
Yeah, that's Jordan Hathorne. We've been describing Jamari with some of the carries, and interesting enough, when you go Jordan and Jamari, they both play on both sides of the ball. And so here's going to be the extra point. As you had a young man, you can see him still hobbling kind of off the field for the Panthers as we await the PAT, the Diamond Productions point after, to make it a 14-0 lead. Good hole by Rayburn, a nice snap back by McKinley, and Edgar Cruz has hit it right down Fremo to make it 14-0. We'll return after this 1-minute timeout. We appreciate you joining the Talking Ball Y'all broadcast of Picayune football.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these 2 stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit bearriveroakmanor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Edgar Cruz has it teed up, this time over on the right hash. He's trying to find one of those gunners, Rick, to kind of just dive into this football on the angled kick. This time he'll go old-fashioned and just boot it away to about the 11-yard line is where it's caught, handled, and advanced up to the 36. That was a good return. That's Alex Mims. We talked about him a lot, what he can provide. That was a good return. And Tide's still trying to figure it out a bit on these kicks, which way they're going to go. But I like how versatile Eddie Cruz is, a soccer kid. He was a basketball guy as well.
Yeah, Maroon Tide really had to go the distance, 70-yard drive, and then had an 80-yard drive they had to go, actually 81. Northshore getting pretty good starting field position, just got to try to do something with it offensively.
Appreciate Greg Ducker on the scoreboard bug, and him and Jeremy Shesby providing information from the sideline as well.
Yeah, Mr. Ducker's been on it.
Here's a straightaway give, and Williams is having a pretty good night. It was a good tailback. Stallings with the stop. Stallings had a bunch of tackles, was our leading tackler a week ago against North Shore. The junior, 5'9", 175 for Stallings, dressed in 3 for the Maroon Tide. 2 wides to the right of the formation, 1 lone wide receiver to the left. Williams will move from the left to the right hip of Gonzalez. A low snap that disrupted Gonzalez, but he's able to get it out on time, and it's caught at the 47, advanced to the 48, and that's going to be enough to move the chains. A really good pass there from Gonzalez to Burns. And even with the low snap, Gonzalez's footwork's impressive to watch at the quarterback position.
He is, Clay, and he's athletic. He's not a big guy, only 170 pounds, not quite 6 foot, but when he's got time, can deliver those quick strikes and really good route combinations here by North Shore on this drive.
And just the junior is Gonzalez. He'll call his own number here after a fake in the belly of Williams. Cross midfield to the 45 of the Tide. That's going to be about a 7-yard pickup. Perfect on first down. Really opens up the playbook on second. See what the Panthers choose to do. Going with a little bit more tempo here, finding a bit of a rhythm offensively.
Yeah, and that was really all on Gonzalez there. I mean, didn't have much, but found one little crease and just kind of fell forward for a nice pickup.
Second, and let's say 3 after they sort it out at the 46 of the Tide. And here's a give to Williams. Williams with a good stutter step through the gap, through the hole, gets him to the 38 of the Tide. And so stringing together some first downs are the Panthers trying to fight back in this one. Trail on their home turf tonight, 14-0.
The Panthers getting in behind that big right tackle that we talked about in our pregame there. Doing a nice job running behind him, Mr. Evan Orelon, number 65 on that right side.
Orelon, a big kid, as you mentioned, and he's a good one as well for this club. 6'4", 265 is what he's listed as. And just as I said, tempo, now they've let the play clock really wind down on this. Slowed it back down, have the Panthers. Inside the 40 of the Tide, and a great play fake. Everybody bought Williams, but it was Gonzalez out to shoot to the right side and getting it down to the 25-yard line. That was as good a play fake in high school football as you'll see, Rick, as Gonzalez and Ramon Williams, his tailback, really sold it going through, but Gonzalez had it out to shoot down the right sideline.
He did nice pickup and a little bit of a scuffle here between the wide receiver. That's the guy we mentioned as well, Tyson Burns, and I believe that was Cam Quinn, had a little extracurriculars there.
Yeah, they kind of held on to each other after the fact. That probably needs to be reeled in a bit. We've seen a bunch of that already in this one. Still in our opening half, 8:15 to go before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Gonzalez going to try to throw. He's rolled out to his left. He's in all kinds of trouble. Backwards pass. That's a live football. Picked up by Fortenberry. Never hesitated. He'll scamper in for a touchdown, as he was just trying to get it out of bounds, but it ended up being a backwards pass, and Fortenberry never hesitated to think it's incomplete going out of bounds. He just kept playing, sprinted, picked it up, returned it for a defensive touchdown for Adarius Fortenberry. Great job by that young man. Really good pressure applied by the Tide, too. Tide had their hands all over Gonzalez to make him attempt to just get it out of bounds. Turns into a backwards pass, live football, Tied with a touchdown return.
Yeah, Gonzalez just trying to do too much there, Clay. You don't want to do that. I'm sure the coaches are going to tell him that, but I'm going to give Fortenberry a 40-yard return for a touchdown. That's about where I had it.
Good snap back by McKinley. Good hole by Tanner Rayburn, but the kick is no good. So 20-0 after our Diamond Productions point after is no good. 20-0, 7:58 to go in our opening half. Tide to play good football, Rick. Got a defensive score there. We'll call it a scooping score. Can't call it a pick six, as the Tide able to turn that into points. Fortenberry. Yep. That was a heady play too, Rick. On the high school level, sometimes something funky like that happens and a player doesn't think it all the way through, but no hesitation for Fortenberry. He knew exactly that thing was live and could be a touchdown for him.
Yep,
Nobody was going to catch him.
Just saw the replay, too. I'm going to change that. I think he got it right on the 50, Clay. I cut him a little bit short. Sorry about that, Mr. Fortenberry. We'll fix it.
Adarius, a kid that celebrated a birthday this week. He's got a smile that can light up a room. Celebrated it. Saw a picture with Josh Robertson. Looked like he had taken the guys out to dinner, a good group. And you see those kind of pictures during the week, and they mean something. You know, you can talk about relationships and culture and building, but it's got to be done outside of the locker room a lot of times. So that's good to see those pictures kind of fill up a social media feed. These guys spending time with one another outside. And there's the kick solution. Tell Eddie to park it about 4 yards deep in the end zone, Rick. And the heck with the having to cover it up, is Cruz going to knock that one. And it's going to be a touchback. Good job there by Eddie Cruz. Maybe aggravated with the missed PAT, but we'll take it. Tide lead it 20-0. 7:57 to go before our Animal Clinic halftime show. And Rick, two good patented kind of Picayune drives, and then you throw in a defensive score, have gotten us to this 20-0 advantage.
Yeah, and really was what was going to be North Shore's best drive of the half. To have it in that way, pretty demoralizing. Got them in a pretty big hole now, down 20-0.
And the game plan has been to mix in the run a pretty good bit. Do you become more pass heavy? We'll see. Still a lot of time left before the half, but does the offensive mix change more towards the pass with this advantage for the Tide? Time will tell as you'll put it in the belly of Williams, who's been good tonight but was covered up fairly quickly. Just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Clay. I don't think you can abandon the run. I think you got to stay with the run here. I think if for North Shore, if you can get in down 20-0, you're in pretty good shape. If not, boy, you could be in trouble.
Yep, in trouble. Maybe just right around the corner either way with the way that the Tide have looked tonight. Leading it 20-0. A timeout burn here for North Shore. As they take one, so will we. We'll return after this 2-minute timeout. Tide lead it 20-0. 7:16 to go here in the second quarter.
Since 2017, Cruz Law Firm has proudly served the people of South Mississippi with dedication, skill, and results. Whether you are facing a complex legal battle or simply need trusted guidance, our team will work tirelessly to deliver the outcome you deserve. Bill and his experienced team handle a wide range of legal matters, from real estate closings to personal injury, and from wills and probate to criminal defense. We've got you covered. When life gets complicated, we're here to simplify the process and fight for you. With 2 convenient locations in Pearl River County, Cruz Law Firm is ready to stand by your side. Call 769-242-2500 to schedule a consultation for your specific need. That's
North Shore going to have it here, second down and 10 to go. Gonzalez is going to have it. He's looking deep. He lets it go, and a wide open receiver right through his hands. That was number 2 for them. Mr. Tyson Burns had the score for 60 yards last week and North Shore likes to, if they've got time, Clay, they like to run those corner routes or run a post to the wide side of the field. That time.
And Nolan will get him. Nolan Wilson going to have at least his second sack of the night. May have split another, but he'll have Gonzalez down back at the 11-yard line. Going to be a 10-yard loss. Going to bring on the punt unit for the Panthers. And what a pass rush there from Nolan Wilson.
Yeah, Nolan Wilson having a big night. We kind of thought that this type of game would play well for him and his fellow teammates there on the defensive line. But, yeah, another sack for Nolan.
Yeah, what a big night for the Alabama commit. The punt for Lackney, another good one. Will it turn over? What a catch made up at the 36. I thought it was going to turn over and maybe produce about 10 more yards on the punt, but Jordan Hathorn, luckily for the Tide, read it better than I did, Rick. Comes up and saves his team. This is going to be some of those hidden yardage type catches from Jordan Hathorn. As he catches it at the 37, I'm willing to bet my paycheck that if he doesn't, that's going to spring forward and at least be out near midfield. What a great play by Jordan Hathorn squeezing that one.
Great play, and Picayune Clay in position here with 6:21 to put another good drive together, get some points going into the half, and best thing of all, you haven't given up anything on defense.
Colt Robertson back in at quarterback, and he's going to take a shot, a beautiful spiral. Incomplete. Jordan Hathorn had it go right near his hands, Rick. I hesitate to say through his hands, but it fell. I almost think it hit his shin or his kneecap on the way back through. That was a beautiful throw. You love when his big brother threw it. You thought Brady Robertson threw one of the prettier footballs that you had seen. That had a pretty nice spiral coming out of the hand of younger brother Colt Robertson there with a nice throw.
Yeah, Colt throws a pretty one himself, and that one was one that should have been caught.
Yeah, that's what I almost said, Rick. I'm glad you said it. I think Jordan would agree when he looks back. Here's the pitch to Zay Dennis. Dennis going to be gobbled up and dropped. Maybe a yard, but that would maybe be generous as see some pushing and shoving after the fact, Rick. They're going to have to reel this one in, even if it's one of those dumb offsetting things, just to hear the whistle and to see the flags. These youngsters probably need it as it's almost after every play, and they're going to give him no gain, Rick. They're going to say a true 3rd and 10. Timeout on the field. It's going to be the heat stoppage. We'll keep it here. 20-0 Tide on top. We are 5:57 away from our Animal Clinic halftime show. Our Topper World top play so far, Rick, and probably going to win it tonight will be a Darius Fortenberry having that, we'll call it a scoop and score. Can't call it a pick six because it won't go down as an interception, but Darius with a heady play after you said it, Gonzalez, the quarterback for North Shore, just trying to do a bit too much. Throws a backwards pass. It stays inbounds. Fortenberry scoops it up. And what'd you give him credit for after further review?
A 50-yard return there. We may even have a candidate for our rib-cracking play of the game if it was indeed Cam. We thought maybe it could have been McKinley on that block that sprung the touchdown, but we'll see if we can get that sorted out, but a good candidate in itself.
We may call him Cam McKinley and get him each a rib plate. Try to fool old Tony out of there after our extra rib plate. Pass interference, got to be. There's the flag. Ball's incomplete at the 29, but Ontario Wilkins had his jersey on when he is dressed in 41, and then he had a defensive back draped on him as well. That was Kyle Williams, who got to Ontario Wilkins about 3 beats too early.
Yeah.
That was a strong throw, too. It's going to be incomplete, but there will be a pass interference, a nice route run, and a good pass.
Yeah, pretty good coverage there, but he had his front hand in the right spot to knock it down, but was draped all over the back of Wilkins, and that's what drew that flag.
Too good a coverage, right? Got there too quickly. As you will have a 2 wide receiver set split over to the right side. That is Kane McKinley in the, I call it slick. What would you call that if you were sitting to my left and going to do play-by-play? You'd say the.
Well, he is the wing in the Picayune offense, but he is lined up in the slot, so you're right on with that.
We both get credit?
We both get credit for it.
Multiple choices I like, where we can both be right. And then you've got Juju Johnson out to his right.
We've had a lot of stoppages where they're trying to figure things out tonight. It seems like that anyway, unless it's just me.
No, first game for North Shore, first game in the state of Louisiana. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say this crew's first game together, and so they're trying to figure it out, trying to knock that old rust off. But, dude, when it's 106 in this press box, it's hard to find grace and mercy with most anyone, isn't it, Rick?
That's right.
I mean, I'm just being honest. As close as you are and you and I are, you one mistake away from being on my nerves as warm as it is up here.
That's right.
2 wide receivers to the right. They're going to give it to Dennis over to the left. Nothing doing. That was a really good defensive play. That was Hopkins.
He's had a few of those on that corner tonight.
And Hopkins is been credited over the PA over on the left doing a good job too, Rick. Kind of just staying out of the way but getting every name, number right in real sync and time. You love a good PA announcer.
Yep.
You can cheat on. Jerry Grums back at our house does a really, really good job. Their PA announcer here tonight's doing a good job.
And he'll lose a couple, Clay, on the spot. They'll put it at the 24.
Oh, sure will. Good catch by you. It'll drop it back to the 24. Second and let's say 12. He sliced through a hole initially, but closed down at the 20. Bring up now third. Let's see where they lay it down because the spots hadn't been where I've seen them, and this one won't be. They're going to put it at the 22. I thought he got it to the 20-yard line, Rick. They'll take 2 away from what I thought and get it to a 3rd and 10. I thought we were going to be 3rd, 7.5, or 8. That's a terrible spot. 4:40 to go before the break. Tide looking to add to a 20-0 advantage. Appreciate Jackson Harrelson up top, providing the camera action. Group effort here tonight. Scoreboard bug. Greg Ducker. Here's a play that's just going to go straight ahead down to about the 14, if that's where the spot is. That'll get half. See if the Tide attempt a field goal or go for it 4th and 4. And they do spot it at the 14, so I'm going to call it 3.5, Rick. And it looks like the Tide going to keep their offensive unit out and go for it here. 4 minutes left before the half. That's junior James going to be the long wide receiver for the Tide. You've got Agana and Hathorn behind Colt Robertson. It's the toss and a good run. Good blocks provided in front, and Jamari Hathorn going to get it to the 9, have enough for the first down. So Tide going to move the chains, going to have it 1st and goal. They'll move it from the 8 back to the 9, but it's going to be 1st and goal from the 9. Hathorn is some kind of fast, Rick, just good old-fashioned, like, speed. He gets the 0 to 60, or if you want to do a 40 time, he'd be tough to beat, just straight away running ability. Jamari Hathorn's got to be one of our fastest, if not the fastest. 1st and goal from the 9. Jordan Hathorn going to do a dance at about the 4, eludes 2 Panthers, and he will get in. A 9-yard touchdown run for Jordan Hathorn. Hathorn with his 2nd touchdown run of the night gets it to 26-0 as we await the point after.
And boy, Hawthorne made all the right moves, cutting back against the grain, found holes along the way, and nice 9-yard rush there by Mr. Hawthorne.
As we await the point after, McKinley will snap back. Rayburn will hold. Cruz will kick. First 2 parts of the equation are good. Kick is good. 27-0, Tide lead it. 3:12 to go before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show. Let's get a Diamond Productions drive summary from Ricky Whitaker.
Maroon Tide go 7 plays. They take about half of the remaining clock off here in the second quarter. Started with 6:21, ended with 3:09. They marched 43 yards, and it's capped off by the second rushing touchdown by Mr. Jordan Hawthorne. He goes in from 9 yards out, and now Mr. Hawthorne, 2 rushes, 50 yards. Zay Dennis, 9 for 52. Moto's mixed in some as well, 3 for 25. Maroon Tide on the night, 16 for 145 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 9-yard per carry average. It wasn't the prettiest drive, but it was effective.
Speaking of pretty, Rick, when you look back on last week's numbers, 6 yards per carry, 345 against what I thought is going to be one of the better defensive lines that the Tide may see till deep in the playoffs. And then tonight you see that per go up to 9, which, dude, you get 9 yards per carry, you are hitting on all cylinders. And so credit this offense, and Tide really playing a pretty complete game so far. And this one, and Edgar Cruz has hit this one 6 yards deep. That's back-to-back big kicks from Cruz into the end zone, which would solve maybe a little bit of a question mark on some of these kicks if you just let Cruz boot it away, and he's done that to great efficiency these last 2 kicks. But 27-0, Rick, 3:12 to go. Hard to find many things wrong with the Tide's performance so far in this one.
Yeah, I think Eddie's still upset about that missed PAT to drive prior, because he hit that one 2 yards deeper than he did the play before, the kick before. But Maroon Tide defense holding up. North Shore had some opportunities, but boy, that last drive by North Shore, it was all Maroon Tide defense.
Yeah, let's see what the Tide can continue to do. 2 wides to the right, 2 to the left. Gonzalez is clapped forward. He's got it, and he has put it in the belly of Williams. Williams runs through an arm tackle up to the 25. Brody Kirkland going to get the stop there after a 5-yard pickup. If you're looking for things, there's a missed tackle that you can chart in the old huddle machine when you get in a tape review room on Sunday afternoon at the field house. That's one somebody should have made and didn't, but Kirkland there to clean it up.
Yeah, and this time that North Shore takes to get the play in, it really works for the advantage of the defense, especially those big guys up front. They get a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, and Coach Sanders and his staff at some point, Rick, you've got to forget about the scoreboard, right? He talked to us earlier this week. He knew what he was kind of doing, scheduling Picayune And then John Curtis, the physical play that you would see, the quality of play that you would see. And so with 2:30 left, there's a timeout on the field. What I'm babbling about, Rick, is the scoreboard's kind of got to go away from the Panthers. They're just going to get work on getting better with every snap. The same mentality would be really healthy for the Tide to take as well.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point that you make, Clay, and I think you got to be careful, and I think it's a wise timeout for Coach Sanders. You can't take them with you into the second half. You might as well try to put something that you can build on here, trying to find something positive for this team going into the half. It's going to be tough, down 27-0, but you certainly don't want to give it back and risk the Maroon Tide putting 6 more up.
Speaking of positive and healthy, man, look at that Diamond Productions that Jackson Harrelson did off in his free time this week. Rick snuck us a little logo up in that top corner.
He's been on it tonight. He's been on it. Mr. Ducker's been on it with a score bug, and appreciate what those guys do for us.
Absolutely. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's joined by an H-back on that left side. Gonzalez flush. You've heard that already. He'll split a sack this time, will Nolan Wilson. He'll have to split it with the bull, Macon Burnett, as they will have yet another tackle for loss. Burnett shaken up after the play. Gonzalez was going to be tackled back at the 21. I've got Nolan Wilson, and this is so unofficial, but 3.5 sacks here in the opening half.
I'm with you. I think that's exactly where he's at. Been in on a lot of plays.
And we wait to see what the health status is of the bull, Macon Burnett. While we do that, we'll break away. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. When we return, we hope that it will be a cramp-type situation is what we're going to pull for. You can't make favorites, Rick, but Macon Burnett did that early in both his baseball, swim, and football career by telling us how much he loved the show and to watch the live or listen to the live action. So we're just going to be honest, one of my favorites down there being attended to. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. We'll return. Tide lead it 27-0, 2:17 before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
The days of hiding your money in a mattress or burying it in the backyard are long gone. Our friends at Bank Plus can help you save for a rainy day. Hurry in and let their friendly staff help you with all your banking needs. Stop by any of their locations today at 115 Williams Avenue and 951 Memorial Boulevard in Picayune or 105 North Main Street in Poplarville. Bank Plus is more than a name, it's a promise.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need
Sandy Kane, sorry for that interruption. We'll play it later in the broadcast as we've already done a couple times. A big hit, ball out. Ball out at the 31. Was it down before the big hit? That was Cam Quinn who was going to cause the fumble. But they're going to say he was down as Gonzalez called his own number. Got enough for the sticks, but paid for it at the end. But they're going to say that he was down. 1:50 left in this opening half. Tied on top, 27-0.
And Gonzalez showing his toughness there, Clay. I mean, yeah, I guess you like that out of your quarterback, but he was really waiting for that contact. Maybe not the smartest decision there, but certainly appreciate him showing his toughness to his team.
Absolutely. A slant on the money, but not caught. Is incomplete at the 41. Made a perfect pass to Gonzalez, but Aiden Capps unable to grab it.
Yeah, Gonzalez had some drops tonight from his wide receiver core.
I like Gonzalez, man. I think he's a really good player just watching him. I mean, he tried to do too much. You mentioned that, and we described that on the defensive touchdown, but he's had 2 or 3, as you've already described, that would tilt his stat sheet in a totally different direction if they're grabbed. 2nd and 10. North Shore from their own 30-yard line here. That's a big throw, an out route that's caught out at the 36 and advanced to the 38. It's good coverage on the play. Pass is complete. Right where you want it to be is a defensive back, but that's a good route run by Burns and a long, strong throw from Gonzalez. I believe there's a flag on. Is it a point towards the Tide, Rick? But they're yet to kind of, and they're marking it the wrong direction.
No, I think it was an ineligible man down the field. If I got that call right from the symbol, I'm not sure on that, but that's what it looked like to me. But we got to see Gonzalez last year. He came in and took some snaps. Throws a very pretty ball. That time, I mean, that's not an easy route to throw. Has a nice spiral, tight spiral, gets it out quick, and that was not going to count though, unfortunately.
No, and that's twice that I think on that same route that the Panthers have leaked too far down the field. Here we're trying to set up the screen to negate the Tide pressure, going to be incomplete. That's a good play call against the pressure that Gonzalez has seen, but it will fall incomplete.
And what a tough defense will do for you is what we've seen on those last two drops. I think when you start to peek over to see who's closing in on me, it makes you think twice about wanting to lay your body out, and I think that's what happened there between him and his running back.
Yeah, Nolan Wilson with 3.5 sacks certainly speeds up your thought process, speeds up any type of execution from an offense. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. North Shore has it at its own 25-yard line, facing its 3rd and 15. 1:14 to go before the locker room. Tide on top, 27-0. If you're looking for the action on the field, check out our YouTube channel. Search Talking Ball. Y'all, another sack by the Tide. Going to get him back at the 16-yard line. That was Mario Monson who's able to get the sack. Mario Monson gets back and gets Gonzalez. I think he'll keep that one whole to himself. The only man maybe that would have a half a sack to go with it was Kirkland, but I think Monson, when he reviews tape's going to want that whole sack. And so now you face an interesting situation, right, Rick? If you're North Shore, you've been taken all the way back to when they spot it, they're going to spot it at the 18-yard line on the left hash. There's 1 minute and 3 seconds left. And so you're going to have to punt it away. On a couple of these punts, the Tide have had really good pressure. They've been kicked well, and Jordan Hathorn made a nice catch on one. But they have shown good pressure on this punting situation. Willie Lackney going to kick it away. He'll probably put his heels back at about his 10-yard line. He's even a bit hobbled. That's the defensive end, Braden Martin, who's going to play in here in protection, a bit hobbled. That's something to keep an eye on. Lined up across from him is Javari Barnett. Going to put his heels, at the 6. Good pressure from the Tide, but didn't get there. Hathorn not even going to look twice. He's going to let it sail near the sideline. I thought that got out of bounds at about the 49. They didn't blow a whistle, but it will end up at about the 47 of Picayune is where it's going to die. So let's see if Tide can use this, Rick, maybe to run a bit of a hurry up or get a chance for a live rep situation of closing a half. This is where you look at the score and you can toss it out. I think you want to try to use a game situation here, even though you're up 27-0. See how you can operate with just 53 clicks left on the clock before our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's the second game of the season. You can say, well, they're up, just take a knee and go home. I mean, I think you want to see your quarterback and your offense run that 2-minute offense, as you said.
And we'll see what the Tide have in mind as Tanner Rayburn, who's got to complete it. Nope, going to drop it. Jordan Hathorn had it for a half a beat and then drops it at the 41. But he had Hathorn, and that's 2 good balls that have been thrown tonight by Tanner Rayburn, Rick.
Yep.
Tall kid at the quarterback position delivered that one right where you want it, but Jordan Hathorn didn't complete it. So Cody, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, Adam Feely kind of thinking along with us, I think, there, see what we can do in a bit of a hurry-up situation with just 49 seconds left. Ball on your opponent's 47. Here's the pitch to Dennis. Dennis trying to outrun a linebacker to make the corner. Will be able to do so, but gets dinged up a bit trying to get out towards that corner. When I say ding, he's hit on the shoulder. He's not shaken up, but in the process of trying to make the corner, it's going to slow down his progress, just let him have a 3-yard gain to right near midfield. That may be the final snap unless the Tide hurry. Tide lead at 27-0, and that will do it. Cody's waving his guys to the locker room as the Tide will go into our Animal Health Clinic halftime show with a large margin, a big spread here going to the break. 27-0 lead at Rick. Is something we've started to do before we kind of fully get into our halftime show, even before our first break, is to kind of break down the first half scoring summary and look at some numbers between you and I.
Yeah, Northshore punts on their first possession. On Picayune's first possession, we get a 9-yard touchdown run by Zay Dennis. That put the score at 7-0. A blocked field goal by Northshore on their second possession set up Picayune, and a 41-yard scamper from Jordan Hawthorne made the score 14-0. Picayune gets a turnover on North Shore's third possession. That was a 50-yard scoop and score, as you called it, by Mr. Fortenberry. That puts Picayune up 20-0. The PAT was missed, and then Jordan Hawthorne goes in on Picayune's fourth drive of the first half from 9 yards out to make it 27-0, and that's really how things have been here for the Maroon Tide. Very effective. Scored on all but one of their offensive possessions, of course, the last one being with just a few seconds left there of time.
Yeah, pretty dominant half of football for the Maroon Tide, just when you made a trip across the state line and got things teed up tonight, just what you wanted to see from the Maroon Tide. I'm about to kill the booth cam. If you're looking for the action on the field, go to our YouTube channel, search up Talking Ball. Y'all should be able to find it on YouTube to be able to take in the halftime show and, of course, the second half. We appreciate you that have joined us on the booth cam. It's about to go away. You're about to get Darren Uzel and Ricky Whitaker here for our Animal Health Clinic halftime show.
Making decisions on when and where to further your education is a big step in life. So let Pearl River Community College be the destination for you. Pearl River offers the first 2 years of any major and over 42 career and technical programs. They have 3 locations to better serve your educational needs. The Hancock Center at 454 Highway 90 Suite D in Waveland. The Forest County Center at 5448 Highway 49 South in Hattiesburg, and the main campus located at 101 Highway 11 North in Poplarville. Pearl River Community College. Roll, River, roll.
A lot goes into powering this community. That's why your Touchstone Energy Cooperative wants you to know we've got you. It's a pledge to make sure you're always taken care of. A pledge we honor every day. From our member service representatives to our linemen and those making sure the power you use is there when you need it. We've got you. Always.
Brought to you by Coast Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Thanks for stopping by Marcia Picayune. We're proud to be your family-owned GM superstore, serving Mississippi and Louisiana with new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Here, you're more than just a customer, you're part of the Marcy family. We offer a family-friendly atmosphere backed by GM-certified parts and service and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. At Marcia Picayune, it's small-town friendly service with big-time savings.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Kelly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Welcome into the Picayune Maroon Tide halftime show, sponsored by Dr. Alan Smith and Animal Health Clinic. We are across the state line here in Slidell, Louisiana. Maroon Tide taking on the Northshore Panthers. They lead this one at the half by a score of 27-0. Jordan Hawthorne and Zay Dennis doing most of the damage for the Tide backfield tonight. 5 guys have had carries on the night. Zay Dennis leads it, 10 carries for 54 yards and a touchdown. Hawthorne 2 for 50. He's got 2 touchdowns on the night. Pretty good offensive performance for the Maroon Tide here in the first half on the ground. 17 for 147, 3 touchdowns, averaging 8.6 yards per carry. Darren Uzel joining me in here now from our halftime show here. And Darren, your perspective of first half action here from the sideline.
You know, Rick, it's what we expected. I mean, they look good. They look good. They come out tonight and really just dominated from the kickoff. And you see the effort and just the physicality they're playing with tonight. And that Gulfport game from the second half has carried over to this game tonight. And it's good to see. It's good to see that they cleaned up some penalties. It seems like from last week, some things were cleaned up. And as a fan, that's what you want to see each week is improvement. And look, these guys are talented. Picayune's got some very talented guys on each side of the ball. Just some mental mistakes you had to clean up every now and then. So, yeah, it's optimistic, Rick. Looks good.
Yeah, and I think the defensive touchdown by Fortenberry, we know how much Coach Hayden harps on his defense being able to score. So got to see scoring from defensive unit and the offensive unit.
Yeah.
Love to see that.
So I got a question. I was on the other side, so I really couldn't see that when we scored a defensive touchdown. Did that quarterback just throw it up for his life, or he's like he didn't want none, or what? I mean, how'd that work?
I think he was trying to go forward with it, but didn't, and it came out of his hand and it went backwards. So backwards pass, Fortenberry right on it, knew to pick it up and run with it. But
it almost seemed like from that side of the field he just threw it up like I didn't want none because he was in pursuit. I mean, he was in
pursuit. Yeah, and some big things to stick out. We figured with this type of offense, a guy like Nolan Wilson would have a big game. He's already got 3.5 sacks.
Wow.
Maroon Tide defense been doing pretty well. And you talked about the quarterback, not a big kid, pretty tough. Throws a pretty ball.
Mm-hmm.
North Shore had some drives. I think their second to last drive of the first half was probably their best one, but that's what ended with the turnover there. So North Shore really, what do you do now? Because if you go pass heavy here in the second half, that scoreboard can get hot in a quick minute. So
it's gonna get hot.
I think Clay made a good point coming into the halftime. If you're Coach Sanders, do you just try to, you got to run the ball some. You got to try to, put your offense together. Really credit him. He opens up with Picayune and then John Curtis next week. He's trying to put his team on the right path to make a deep playoff run, and they've got some talented guys. They're big up front.
They do.
I think they've got a good looking group.
They look young. I mean, they're mostly junior heavy, mainly.
Yeah. Yep. Junior heavy. Got a really good offensive line. Big guy, a big right tackle there, 6'4", 265 guy. They've been running behind.
And really, this is their first. Last week was like a jamboree type game.
Yeah, so they ran a jamboree last week, but it was a 4-quarter jamboree, so they got a good play there.
Okay.
The backup for them started that game. We didn't see Gonzalez play at all. It was a 17-10 loss for them, but yeah, I mean, this is really their first action here for the regular season. But
and they've had some drops tonight. I mean, that quarterback he put it on the money on a few plays, but they just dropped it. It seemed
they have. They've had some drops, and I think if you were to be critical of Picayune's offense, I think it was that we had some drops. I think that Wilkins.
Well, we did too, yeah.
I think that Wilkins' catch that was ruled as a drop was a catch, but
that was a catch.
We had some drops. Rayburn threw 2 good passes. They were dropped. I think Colt had a nice deep one to Fortenberry. Like it maybe hit his body on the way down and fell out. So quarterbacks have thrown the ball well, but we've had some drops.
On both sides, I mean,
on both sides.
And ours, yeah.
Yep. You are witnessing now the Maroon Tide. Proud of the Tide and band on the field here in Slidell, Louisiana. And we're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, Darren Uzo will have some scores for us from around our district. You're into the Animal Health Clinic Maroon Tide halftime show here. Maroon Tide leads at 27-0. We're back in 1 minute.
Friday night lights, hometown pride, and neighbors you can count on. That's what makes our community special. And that's exactly what you'll find at FNB Picayune Bank, your hometown bank. With 4 convenient branches in Picayune, you'll always see the same friendly faces ready to help, whether it's everyday checking or big life goals. Visit fnbop.com or stop by today, where banking feels like home. Need a plumber? Let Harold's Plumbing help you with that. Whether it's new construction or just a plumbing repair, Harold can make it happen. Harold's Plumbing is licensed and can do both residential and commercial jobs. Give Harold's Plumbing a call at 601-273-0598 and let him handle all your plumbing and septic tank services.
We are back, folks, here at Panther Stadium, Slidell, Louisiana, 27-0. If you joined us late, Maroon Tide leads this contest here at the half. And now we're going to go to Darren Uzel and take a look at some scores. We'll look around Pearl River County as well as our district opponents. What you got for us, D?
Yeah, we got PRC Blue Devils leading Pope John Paul Jaguars 14-7 at halftime. We got Forest County Aggies leading Long Beach Bearcats 21-0. I believe that's close to halftime. George County and South Jones leading that one 21-0. As far as in the county, we got Poplarville. And Stone 21-7. Stone is leading that contest 21-7. I got some interesting ones in our district, Rick. Let me get on down here and see. We got Hancock. I don't have a score on Hancock and Harrison Central. It's still 0-0. But D'Iberville and Gaucher in our district. D'Iberville is leading that one in the second quarter. I'm assuming it's pretty close to halftime now, 21-3. 21-3. And then you have Pascagoula playing Biloxi, and this one's close to half or at half. We have Biloxi leading that one 21-0 against Pascagoula, which, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, my picking has been terrible so far this football season. I mean, last week I was over. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and it was bad. I mean, it wasn't good. So, but I would have picked Pascagoula to win this one. I would have picked Gaucher to be, leading at halftime. This one.
I would agree
so,
with you.
I mean, well, it's good. It's good for us to look back and I'm glad Gula getting whooped. I'm glad Gaucher's getting beat. As far as that in our district. But
I told Clay this morning. I said, the game that is going to intrigue me the most this week is going to be that D'Iberville Gaucher game. Not that I had a pick in it. I just wanted to see can Gaucher stop that wing T rush attack of D'Iberville. I mean, that's one of our district opponents. So.
Right.
Not only have they not done that, but D'Iberville's defense has held up pretty good. Gaucher coming in with a very young 14-year-old quarterback. They're saying he is the next big thing, right? Just a freshman that's making the start. So he's going to take his lumps as well. And you talked about Poplarville, leading off to a bad start in this second game here. Not really what we expected. And I think that was probably the upset for me of the week last week. That West Harrison was able to close that one out.
Yes, it did.
Of course, Jordan Stapleton, been around for a long time, banged up a bit some of the years that we played them, but that wing T offense pretty good. He was WLOX's Player of the Week. He's got offers from Tulane, Jackson State, and I believe New Mexico State. So one of those Division I type backs, and kind of similar to the guy that we saw last week in Mr. Crosby, who is on an official visit to Auburn, which probably doesn't surprise any of us either.
No.
And then Pearl River Central, they're playing right down the road from us here.
Yeah, they are.
Just a few minutes away. So
that's a good ball game going on there.
Yeah.
I think we got Biloxi next week, and then we've got Ocean Springs back-to-back, two home games. Then we go to Poplarville. So next week's going to be a good game. It's be a great home game. I encourage all the fans to make it out there because Biloxi is actually – they're beating Pascagoula right now 21-0. And that's you can gauge a lot on how we play Biloxi next week. You know, how they matched up with Gula tonight. So, next week y'all come out and support them Maroon Tidesmen as they play Biloxi. And then Ocean Springs, man, they put it on Petal 27-7. And Petal looked good last week. And but Ocean Springs, they playing ball. They playing ball right now. So them two teams we play back-to-back at home, Biloxi and Ocean Springs. So y'all come out and support the Tide.
Yep, that'd be interesting. And Darren, we started talking about looking at some of our local teams. PRCC got their first win. I know you were at that game. As we've already mentioned, your son Kanan long snapping for that team. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on a bounce back performance and getting the W for Coach Smith and his squad.
Wow, man! Look, Rick, 41-16. We're wearing them out. Third quarter, wearing them out, and it was, you know, you learn a lot. JUCO, these kids are still they gelling, they're getting some unity, a new team every year basically. But it seems like they kind of just, you know, we're up 41-16, and they had a fumble punt return, and then we just turned the ball over on downs a few times, and just kind of started playing sloppy. Not a whole lot of energy, as Coach Seth would like. I mean, he's out there wanting to exchange. He's still pumped and trying to get them going, but you know, our defense, like when we got 41-16, well, it was almost a major collapse, honestly. But you know, they would come out with a win with like 58 seconds left. You got Mooney to TK, and it's just 88-yard. But still, we go up 48-42, and they had time to go down the field, so you kind of just holding your breath. But, hey, a win's a win. I know Coach Seth and Ty and all them up there are excited about that, Coach Boykin, but it was a nail biter there when it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
But that's JUCO ball.
That's football. Yeah.
Those boys are good.
Yeah. Got to finish. Got the win against Itawamba. And is that considered a conference?
No, that's
game?
not conference.
So,
next week's conference against Southwest.
So you got 2 games to start. Conference going to take on Southwest next week. And let's go back a week. A game we both agreed that would probably be a good one. USM 14.5-point dogs to the Dogs.
We're going to talk about that.
It was a good first half, but boy, the state pulled away. But let me just say this too. USM, Clay loves USM.
Yeah, he does.
He's a Golden Eagle. You like the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Did I mention I hate the cursive state on the helmets? Can we go back to the old MSU emblem?
Yeah,
I don't like the cursive state.
Yeah, I like it's kind of grown.
Absolutely
really,
hate it.
I
don't like it. I think it looks.
That's a pretty hard word. Bro.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Go back to the old MSU.
I do like the MSU, the big block.
Yeah.
MSU. Yeah, that looks, the retro. Yeah, I picked. I was coming off last year's disappointment and 2 wins. Come on, Rick.
Yeah.
But, I didn't know how we would look against Southern Marshall that last week, man, because really that was a lot of transfers.
But USM looked really good at the quarterback.
They look good.
I think they'll be to deal with.
They're going to be to deal with. I like them Dogs so much, I'll probably pick against them this week again, but just so they'll win. But honestly, Rick, I think that's going to be an upset tomorrow night. Arizona State coming in, they're a top, 10 or 15 team in the country. And State's going a blackout, all black. It's a blackout night, all black uniforms. I think, and Arizona State hadn't won against the SEC team on the road in a while.
All right, you got some good stats there. I like that. Did your homework. So are you taking State in the upset? Is that your upset pick this week?
I'm afraid if I take them, they'll lose. But, man, because last week, I hate to, you know what I'm saying? I think they're going to win.
I'm giving you credit for taking them. I'm going to give you credit for taking them.
We're taking them Dogs,
and you look back, I think one thing we were kind of right on, right? The SEC is who we thought it was. Alabama took a hard loss to Florida State.
My goodness, that was lazy, Rick.
Got to go back to the 70s to when they lost a home opener and go back even further than that when they got beat by 14 in an opener. Texas, man, that was kind of my thought. Maybe it won't be Texas and everybody else, but I still think South Carolina's going to make some noise. I think Florida.
I like South Carolina.
And look at LSU. LSU handled business pretty good too. So LSU going to jump up in the rankings. Florida State flew up to 14 in their rankings from unranked.
I think LSU's 3. I think they're 3
LSU's going to be 3.
So I mean, it's. I'm curious to see how Alabama comes out and plays, but man, they really played lazy. I mean, it was just some of the highlights you see on TV. It was just there was no effort that they normally have when They got Saban, but
if ever there was a man looking for a
Wow.
job or looking over his back to make sure he has a job,
oh my goodness,
that
it
is
don't take them long.
not going to sit well.
It's not going to take them long, brother.
With them. So, oh man, a lot of fun. All right, so
it is fun.
So you're taking State over the upset over Arizona State.
We're gonna get that win at Davis Wade tomorrow night, son.
Yeah, and a good matchup. I think game day is going to be in Oklahoma for the Oklahoma, and shoot, who's the team they're playing? That's where game day is going to be. Another ranked opponent.
Yeah, it is. I can't remember. My mind's been just focused on State and Arizona State.
Yeah. Change the helmets. That's my only thing.
Well, I don't know what they're gonna look like tomorrow night, but it's gonna be all black. It's a blackout night, so we'll see. It's they're gonna reveal it tomorrow night, I guess.
Well, hey, this is fun, man. I like tossing around some football stuff
right.
that we would do.
What time what time do you think we'll hot clock today? I mean, we're 27-0. What do you think about mid-third, first third? What's it, 35 points? Is that where we at? 35.
It would be 35. Clock? Yeah. Depending on we'll see how things go here. For North Shore, I know Maroon Tide going to get the ball here. I think Coach Sagner is going to want to see his team come out and put a good drive together. Worked on took a couple shots, 2-minute offense there. We're glad to see that. You got to still play and you got to still coach. But we're about a minute and a half left here. I'm sure they'll put a couple minutes on before we start the second half. Always enjoy yucking it around with Darren Uzel here at the half, and appreciate Dr. Alan Smith and his crew for sponsoring our Animal Clinic halftime show. So 27-0 here is your score. Second half action is going to be on the backside of this break. Darren Uzel, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Always. Roll Tide.
Healthy pets, happy people, exceptional medicine, compassionate care. That's our motto at the Animal Health Clinic in Picayune. Located at 500 Telly Road, we are equipped with the latest veterinary technology and provide a full menu of animal health services, including after-hours emergencies. Dr. Alan Smith invites you to join our clinic family by checking out our website at ahcpicayune.com or calling us at 601-799-1300.
Hi, this is Sandy Kane Smith. I'm running to serve as your next Pearl River County Tax Assessor Collector. I've been responsible for managing over 100 employees, multi-million-dollar budget, and audits across all areas of county government. I will make sure you will get a fair assessment, fully staffed office, and bring back hometown customer service. Thank you for allowing me to serve the last 16 years as your Board of Supervisor. I truly appreciate your confidence and support, but on November the 4th, I need your help. Your vote makes the difference. This is Sandy Kane Smith, and I will see you at the polls.
Paid for by Sandy Kane Smith for Tax Assessor Collector.
Tucked away in the woodlands of Pearl River County is where you will find the Henry Smith House and its sister property, River Oak Manor. From an elegant Victorian estate to a sleek, cozy farmhouse, these two stunning venues are perfect for weddings, events, or a weekend escape. The properties offer serenity with a genuine and unique experience among pristinely beautiful grounds. Experience southern charm, modern comfort, and unforgettable moments, all in one gorgeous destination. River Oak Manor is breaking ground for continued expansion for wedding and event accommodations and are booking reservations for 2026 and beyond. Visit ThereRiverOakManor.com and start planning for your perfect getaway today.
Protecting your personal belongings is a basic human instinct. You've worked hard for what you have. At Executive Storage, we are dedicated to providing you true, secure storage options and peace of mind. With 2 convenient locations to choose from, you can trust us to protect your personal, family, and business assets. Give us a call today at 601-798-4000 and let us help you protect your most prized possessions.
Looking to buy or sell your land, home, or commercial property in Pearl River County? then it's time to call the hometown experts at Valente Real Estate. Our friendly local team is here to make sure your real estate dreams come true with personalized home searches, expert guidance, and flexible property showings that work around your schedule. From the first showing to the final signature, we're right by your side, making sure your experience is smooth, stress-free, and right on time. At Valente Real Estate, we believe in more than just closing deals. We build lasting relationships, one happy client at a time. So whether you're ready to find your dream home or sell your current property, visit us at 109 North Main Street in downtown Picayune or give us a call at 601-799-3477. Valente Real Estate, where your next chapter begins.
Back here after our Animal Health Clinic halftime show, we certainly appreciate Dr. Alan Smith with his support of the Talking Ball Y'all podcast, as a kick that was not fielded, maybe I hate to say correctly, but at the last second grabbed, and a good grab in the end by Grayson Alls. He kind of hesitated a bit there, Slick, and had almost caught him, but his athletic ability, as Grayson's a super athletic kid, bailed him out a bit and able to grab it at the 32-yard line on the kickoff to start this second half. That was Northshore kicking from right to left to Picayune, and Grayson Alls able to grab it. So Tide going to start at the 32-yard line. We appreciate Darren Uzel, what he provides for us at the half. Tide on top 27-0. Going to start it over on the right hash. Here's a pitch to Dennis. Dennis trying to find some room to work. Will to the tune of just a couple yards off that left side, Will Zay Dennis. As Nixon looks to be in, Rick will keep an eye on where he's playing off on the offensive line for the Maroon Tide. If you'll kind of help me keep an eye on where Mr. Nixon lines up. Jacob Nixon, his family helped provide the pregame breakfast for the Tide. So 2nd and 8, a whistle to start. You've heard me say that way too much tonight. We've had a choppy type game with some of these whistles prior to. And this will be against the Tide. They said the Tide moved early offensively. It's A.K. Burnett on the front line for the Tide. He's at the guard position. Bolden typically at the other guard. He looks to be there, and that's Nixon snapping it back. He's playing center at the moment. Ontario Wilkins, the tight end, nearest Ricky Enna. And here's a run, just kind of scrambling to get back towards the line of scrimmage. Just 2.5 yards picked up. So the Panthers, they've shown little stints of this defensively. Rick, we're in the middle of one of those where they're pursuing the football and able to get the Tide. Haven't done it in long enough portions to kind of hang around in this one. Trailing in front of their home crowd 27-20. A good home crowd, too. This is a good number, a good gate for the Panthers. Tide traveled well, so did Northshore. That's another penalty against the Tide. Now look, Rick, have gone in reverse all the way to the tune of the 16-yard line. So Tide have to get it across the 42. 3rd down and very long. 2 wides to the right. That's where the power will head. A good move at the 20. Going to get Dennis up to the 22, but that's it. Going to be way short of the yardage needed, and that will force Picayune to punt it away the first time. I believe we'll see a new punter if what we've learned prior to tonight's matchup stays true, and it will. That will be Grayson Alls, the young man who just made the diving catch on the kickoff, set to return. Tide had a blocked punt last week. If you had to have some protectors, that's pretty good in front of you, right, Rick?
I would say so, man. That's a good wall there
A low snap, but a good kick by Alds. He's hit it across midfield. The bounce going to dribble inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That was a awesome effort by Grayson Alds, a young football player, just a sophomore is Grayson Alds, and he really did a good job, Rick. It wasn't a great snap. Really had to go down, get the snap, but composed himself, pops up, and drives it to the 37 of North Shore. That's where the Panthers will go to work. An impressive punt.
Yeah, and I don't think that's what Coach Sogner and his offensive group was looking for in that first drive there, the second half. You start on the 32, you end up having a negative 10-yard net there and then have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, you probably spent a lot of time and a half talking about being sharp, clean, compete against yourself, not the scoreboard, all the things that you probably say in a half, and then your offense kind of have a dud of a drive. Really the first dud we've had maybe all season. There haven't been a lot of just bad drives for the Tide in this game and a half. Anything against Gulfport that you got was well earned, and we still moved the football pretty well. Played well tonight, but that was not a good drive, and it resulted in the first punt. North Shore's first play from scrimmage, about a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6 from the 41. This is going to drive it ahead to the 47. Going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Panthers. Williams going to sleep well tonight. He's been hit hard from that tailback position time and time again, but keeps coming for more. Doesn't lay on the ground very long. Pops right back up, gets to that huddle.
Yeah, runs behind his pads really well. Can get low, and you don't see him take a lot of high shots. Smart runner, and you got to run that way when you're only 170 pounds.
And he's doing that. 2 wides to the left. They'll give it to him again. And this time, nope, it was a keep, and he's fooled me. And it's a good thing if you're taking it in from the North Shore perspective. It was a play fake, and the quarterback still had it in Gonzalez. That's going to allow the Panthers to move it across midfield to the 47 of the Tide. Williams was hit by about 3 or 4 Tidesmen. It was going to be no gain if he would have got it, but Gonzalez still had it on a.
I'd say he fooled me for sure. I thought he had it.
On an RPO look. Same play, and he's busted one. 40, 35, he may score. 15, 10, 5, touchdown from Williams. Same look, Rick, just ran it to the left rather than the right, and Gonzalez going to hit a home run, and a Tide look like they have stayed in the locker room. Don't look good here in the first opening minutes of this third quarter. Went 3 and out, and then give up a home run from the quarterback and Gonzalez, and North Shore scores for its first time on the season. 27-6 as we await the point after. Going to come off the foot of Lackney. Low snap back. Good job by the holder to get it and give his guy a chance, and it's good. So 27-7, Rick, and we talked about a lot of points without worrying about the scoreboard. Well, you give up a quick one, and you look up there, 20-point advantage. We've seen, you just heard Darren Uzel. He watched a game last night as well as I did where a 20-point advantage was gone in half a quarter. And so you better lock back in and buckle back up. 27-7, 8:16 to go in the third quarter.
Credit Coach Sanders and his staff for getting these guys ready to come out. They came out certainly ready to play here in the second half. They didn't tuck it in. Maroon Tide on the other side come out a little bit lackadaisical, and you don't want to do that to start. You got an opportunity to maybe go up even bigger, have a hot clock situation, and North Shore feels like they're right back in this thing.
Yep, and so 27-7 our score, 8:16 to go. And Rick, I don't know if it was that they came back out like really early or if they ever went to the locker rooms. I saw a bunch of Panthers just kind of hanging out, and so they stayed. Sometimes you go in that locker room, get a bit comfortable or whatever, but I think I saw the Panthers just kind of hang around on the perimeters of this field and do their halftime adjustments, and so they're certainly locked in. 27-7. Ty got to handle the kick here. It's teed up back at the 40. It's in no man's land again, a couple hops, and that's really risky. I mean, that ball is going to get out of bounds, but barely. Not a great sense of urgency from the 3 special teams players kind of watching it fall out of bounds, Rick. That's 2 feet from becoming a real issue if you don't take care of that type of kick. It will go out of bounds and will be a flag, but that's kind of close and a bit casual in my perspective from the 3 backs back there for the Tide.
Yeah, we got a car horn going off. Somebody's got an alarm system.
Maybe that'll wake the Tide up. 27-7. 7:40 left in this third quarter. Officiating crew taking their time getting it spotted. Will now spot it at the 35. That's where the Tide will go to work. Panther Field here has that every other 5-yard look to it. Darker green and then a lighter green and then a beautiful North Shore emblem that goes from the 40 to the 40, that navy blue and then that powdered in. And there's Alds. That's a young man who we've talked about. He's caught a kick. He's punted away, and now he was in at the tailback position. From all accounts, he looked like he had a really good JV game on Tuesday night against Gulfport. Maybe has earned him a couple reps back at that tailback position. That's Kane McKinley in front at the fullback spot. Got 2 wide receivers to the right. And moved early as that was Colt Robertson at the quarterback position and fired off against Nixon, did his defensive lineman. That's going to be an offside penalty, go against the Panthers. Interesting, right, Rick? We'll see how the mix of kind of the starting in 11 with a couple plug-ins, and Kane McKinley's a regular. It's not really that he's getting any additional snaps. This is basically the same rotation we saw him in last week, but Alds is back at tailback, and he didn't handle that pitch particularly well. Had it go in and out of his hands and then find it off the face, able to grab it and get a 1.5 yards, but that was – I've used the word dangerous already 3 times in this third quarter, but that could have been a disaster if he's not able to refine the pitch. Picks up a 1 yard, but that's it. Tide at his own 41 facing a 2nd and 9. He'll stay in at the tailback position. Kane McKinley at the fullback. It is Colt Robertson at quarterback. They will give it to Alds again. Alds going to get 3, going to make it 3rd and 6. Went right up the left hash for about 3 yards. Kind of a sluggish start to the third quarter. Tide have given up a touchdown, have gone 3 and out. And now in the middle of its second possession, going to have the heat timeout, Ricky. We paid the bills at the half. We can keep it right here and kind of talk football. But what have you seen for the Tide in the first 6 minutes here in this third quarter?
Well, it was a really bad start with their opening drive, but seem to be bouncing back now. I think it's a good move by Coach Stogner and his staff to run alls. You can take some of those miles off what's going to be a very long season, looking at the numbers for Zay and Jordan tonight. As long as you can move the ball, you're going to continue to move the clock, and I think he's trying to just get out of here, not worried about padding the stats or the score. He just wants to see his offense execute.
Ald's a kid that can really run, can really throw a baseball. Naturally gifted kid, was an early developer. Had a fight against him in Little League all these years, a year or 2 older than my son, and so certainly familiar with Alds and his athletic ability. Kane McKinley at the fullback. That's Zay Dennis back in at the tailback position. 3rd and 6, ball at the 48-yard line of North Shore. Colt Robertson looking to throw. Now he's flushed out. Lets it go. Good throw, and it's caught. Jordan Hathorn going to grab it at the 30-yard line. What a dime delivered by Colt Robertson. Rolled to his right and delivered a beauty down to the 30. Jordan Hathorn going to catch it and go down there. That was a big-time throw.
Was a great throw there, Clay, and you see Colt roll out, had the presence of mind. He starts directing traffic. He's telling Hathorn back up a little bit. And settle down and delivers a strike.
A good throw and a nice catch made in traffic there. Good all the way around by 2 good football players.
Pick up a 22 yards there.
Offset, and it is a give to the fullback, Kane McKinley. McKinley going to pick up 3 or 4 to the 26. Offset backfield, you had him at the fullback. You had Zay Dennis at the tailback.
McKinley, his first carry of the year, I believe. Got in and did some blocking last week, but getting his first action. Nice 4-yard pickup there.
Good job by that young man. Changes in the backfield. It's now Igana and Dennis. Ball at the 26. 2nd and 6. Dennis trying to make the corner. Can he? He's going to have to tuck back in. Good pursuit. They've done a good job at times tonight, Rick, when I've had to describe Zay trying to get that edge or get in corner, kind of getting leverage back from the sideline, making him tuck that run back in, and that was a prime example of that.
Yeah, that's number 3, Brendan Vendale. He's been on a lot of stops on that side, really doing a good job of containing Zay from getting anything going on the outside. Going to be a loss of 1.
So now let's call it 3rd and 7 as it's backed up to the 27. Tide have it in North Shore territory, and that's Junior James, the wide receiver, out to your right, bottom of your screen. Here's a give to Alds. Alds stuck at the 23-yard line. Did a good job of holding on to the football as he was rudely greeted by Christian Fisk. Decision to make here for the Tide, Rick. It's going to be 4th. Whenever they spot this thing down, they are taking forever as this crew to get it on the ground. And 4th now and
some extracurriculars
3.
there by one of the defenders there from North Shore. Took a shot at Mr. Robertson, and his guys defending him up front did not like that at all.
4th and 3. Ball at the 23 of North Shore. Cole Robertson, a pitch back to Alts. He didn't catch it. He's going to be all the way back at the 37 when he retrieves the pitch. And that was twice on that drive that he just didn't catch the pitch from Cole Robertson. And a Tide offense on 4th and 3 going to lose it on possession as he was able to get back on it, Rick. But by the time he did, he was surrounded by Panthers. So they're going to drop it officially back to the 37-yard line. That's where North Shore will take over on downs.
Yeah, ends up being a loss of 14, Clay, on the play. So not a good start to the first 2 opening drives here the second half for the Tide.
Nope, a 3 and out and a turnover on downs. And North Shore going to have it with a bit of momentum. 1 wide receiver to the right, 2 to the left for Gonzalez. Fakes it. Nope, he gives it in the belly of Williams. He faked it the last 2 times, so now I don't trust him. He did put it in the belly of Williams. Williams able to fight ahead for a 3-yard gain, but that's good ball handling by the quarterback, and Gonzalez. It's not real easy to tell if he's giving it away or not, and him and Ramon Williams have a good rhythm back there.
Yeah, he's carried the RPO out very good, and you and Coach Sanders on the same page there. He's running his offense.
And there's another sell of the give to the tailback, but a keep by Gonzalez. He's going to get right to the sticks. I believe he'll have enough for the first down to the 47, his own 47. 2:20 left in the third quarter. Tied on top 27-7. North Shore has their 7 here in this third quarter and have forced a 3 and out and a turnover on down so far defensively. Did not have enough. It's 3rd and half a yard for the first down at the 47. Taking their time are the Panthers to get this play going. They've done that at times tonight. Low snap. Did good to get it in the belly of Williams, and he's broke. 1 big out to the 30 of the Tide. And maybe, Rick, that low snap delayed just enough to make that play work offensively. I know that sounds funny, but it almost made it a bit of an intrigue or a little harder to find the football. And Ramon Williams breaks one to the 30 of the Tide. Panthers cooking here.
Yep. Maroon Tide going to check in Big Mitchell Smith. Played a lot of snaps tonight. See if he can get over this young center who's in his first start.
And here's Williams trying to run away from that action, try to get it to the left side of the formation, and did for 5 yards. A good tackle made by Scott, Amari Scott, for the Maroon Tide. But it's rushing attack, putting them up, putting it down, and moving the chains. That will be a 5-yard gain, set up 2nd and 5. You really didn't want to have to see Mitchell Smith, I don't think, from the Tide perspective on the defensive side tonight.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it's still a 27-7 ball game here. But by all accounts, Clay, with just a little bit of time left, North Shore going to win this third quarter.
Absolutely. Gonzalez in a shotgun. He'll send a slot receiver from the right to the left. Fakes the give, and a big tackle made. That's the way on the RPO to get the stop. Both guys were accounted for. Amari Scott got the quarterback who had kept it, but both guys got hit, Rick. I don't know any better way. You can't really wait, can you? You've just got to go attack both, and that was a good job from Scott. Now, if I'm speaking out of turn, correct me there, but that looked like a good attack.
I think you're right. I think you're going to have to try to run a spy-type situation on the quarterback where he's accounted for, and then you got your read from the linebacker going to the running back.
3rd and 7. Here's a give to Williams, and back-to-back really good defensive plays and tackles for a loss. And back-to-back by the same young man. That's Amari Scott showing well here on these last 2 plays for the Tide. And that's a good way to close out what was not a good quarter. Tide lead this one 27-7. We'll come back with your final 12 minutes after this timeout. Tide on top, headed to the 4th, 27-7.
At Planet Home Lending, you are more than just another transaction. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a veteran using VA benefits, or buying a secondary home, they have a home loan program that fits your needs. Planet Home Lending proudly serves Picayune and Pearl River County with FHA home loans, VA loans, USDA housing loans, and more. Give Melissa Rubel a call at 601-276-5058. Or stop by their office located at 219C Telly Road in Picayune. Planet Home Lending will get you home.
27-7 as we have a fresh 12 minutes on this 4th quarter clock. And just as I was tucking the Panthers into bed, Rick, and much like my daughter, we're getting up and stirring around again, 27-7, and this game's not over. Plenty of time left. And Ty going to have to come awake here and kind of close this one out. You'd rather that sooner than later if you're a Tide fan, but we'll see. North Shore has it to the 30-yard line of the Tide.
Yeah, and no love lost between these two teams tonight. Been a pretty chippy game, but the cheerleading squad seem to be cohabitating pretty well together down there on the track.
They sure are. 4th and 10. 2 wide receivers to the right. Ramon Williams, a really good tailback off the left hip of Gonzalez for the Panthers. It's 4th and 10. Be an interesting play call here. North Shore has not thrown it a whole lot, but are forced to here. Got hit in his mouth when he let it go, and it will be picked off at the 4-yard line by the Tide. It was tipped and then caught. That was Cam Quinn, I believe, who's able to come up with the pick. It was great coverage and even better pressure on Gonzalez. I mean, he was hit right when he went to throw that football, Rick. You hate to tell a Tidesman I'm not this guy because it's going to be hard for you not to make that play, but we really cost ourselves about 25 yards by grabbing that, as it was 4th and 10. If it falls harmlessly incomplete, you get 25 more yards, but you don't get that INT on max preps. You don't get us talking about you making that nice grab. So I can certainly relate to going ahead and hauling that one in. But good job by the Tide.
Yeah. And Fortenberry in good coverage jumped a little bit too early, but was able to tip it back, and Cam Quinn did a good job of holding on to it on the way down.
Yeah, good call by you, crediting Fortenberry with the tip. Fortenberry got his earlier in the ball game, had a scoop and score on a backwards pass for 7. Here, he really aided Cam Quinn, and Cam Quinn was almost laying on his back and able to grab that pick because of Fortenberry. Fortenberry's a real good cover corner. He may go play football on the next level with his hips, his leaping ability. Somebody may go find them a good corner in Mr. Fortenberry. First play, though, for the Tide, Rick, nothing doing in the middle of this line, and the Panthers have made either some adjustments defensively or something's going on. We're just not moving it very well, and to speak to that, we just lost 4. Got to get it back to about the 3-yard line on this loss, and it's going to bring up 3rd and about 13 as Tide with back-to-back running plays that lost a yard and then lost 3 yards.
Yeah, that's not a good way to start there. Maroon Tide got an opportunity to go 95 yards, eat up most of this clock, and really kind of put this game away for good, but not off to a good start here on 3rd down.
Now, I'd take a Zay Dennis 97-yarder right here. He's in the backfield. I believe that's Agana in front of him. It's Rayburn to Agana. Agana spins out of a tackle, but not much more after that to the 5. So just a 2-yard pickup from Agana, and the Panthers defense now going to get his second 3 and out of the 3rd quarter as they're going to force a punt, and this is a different unit for the Tide, Rick. You remember we had Nolan Wilson punting last week. Now it's Grayson Alds. Alds did have a punt earlier in this ball game. He'll punt it away here, but if you're the Tide, you just got to get it off of your foot. Look at the returner for the Panthers. He's standing at his own 35-yard line. Vendell is.
That's a young man who's made a lot of plays defensively tonight.
If you got a line drive type kick, if he'll come up and get it, he will at the 42. He escapes a couple tacklers. He's up at the 35, driving forward to the 33-yard line as well. Vendell will be down. But look at the life on the sideline for the Panthers is the momentum. This sounds silly, Rick, 27-7 the spread, but really the momentum in the 3rd and now this portion of the 4th has been on the side of North Shore.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, it was all North Shore in the 3rd quarter. Maroon Tide, punted their first possession due to penalties, turnover on downs, the second one there, and had a pick that stopped what was a pretty good drive for North Shore, but stumbled out again on their 3rd drive, went backwards. So 2 drives at the 3 in the second half, you've had negative yards.
Yeah, which is super unusual for the Maroon Tide. I mean, you look at as good as that defense was from Gulfport, we didn't speak on those kind of terms often a week ago. But
yeah, the drives last week that were stalled were due to penalties. This is really just good defensive play from North Shore.
And North Shore got a short field, and it's gotten even shorter after a carry to Ramon Williams. Williams gets it to the 25 of the Tide. An 8-yard pickup, going to bring up 2nd and 2.
North Shore down 27-0 to start the half, only threw it 1 time.
Yeah, and they may throw it right here, Rick. A 2nd and 2, you may see them trying to find somebody over the middle. Nope, going to be another give to Williams, and why not? He's got 5, 6, 7 now on the carry, and he's going to get it to the 16-yard line of the Maroon Tide. Tide kind of being moved around a bit up front. The offensive line, they're big for the Panthers and kind of creating some good space for the Tide. You've had to check Mitchell Smith in for that defensive line for the Tide. 1st and 10. Ball now at the 17-yard line. That's Gonzalez. He'll put it in the belly of Williams. I believe that's the same play 3 times in a row and about the same result. This one a little less yardage, but it's still a good play on 1st down. Get it to the 16-yard line. Not a bad start there on 1st down.
And had a nice head of steam, but then ran into the big wall known as Mitchell Smith.
And when does Gonzalez hold it himself? Put it in the belly, take it back out, because we've seen 3 straight runs from Williams.
Yeah,
so
he's been baiting it that way for a while now.
He has. 2nd and 7. This time he'll put it in the belly, pull it back out, and throw it, and have a catch down to the 3-yard line. Good combo there. We were thinking that way, but maybe Gonzalez run it, but he puts it in the belly of Williams, takes it back out, and completes a pass down to the 3-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 3. Gonzalez will stay in that familiar shotgun set. He's been there all night long. He'll give it to Williams. Williams hit and stopped. Amari Scott's played a good second half. He's got another stop in his column. He'll be aided there by I believe that was Bolden getting up off of the pile with him. It was Javen Bolden.
Yeah, last play, just a really easy pitch and catch there, simple slant route. Picayune cornerback had outside leverage, but seeing as how they ran the ball, opened it up. And probably if he stays on his feet, it's a touchdown, but stumbled. I thought he got a little closer towards the 1 yard line, but Picayune's defense trying to make a stand here. And look, Clay, I mean, give a lot of credit to Coach Sanders and his group for coming out here and not just packing it in, right? They've came out and played a good second half. That's hard to do when you're down like that, and we know how great our coaching staff is, but I think the flip side is you got kids that are like, this one's over.
Absolutely. Be able to find that motivation, get folks in gear. We talk a lot about forgetting that scoreboard. It's kind of in vogue, and there's a reason it worked. You know, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, they were those guys, right? And there's a reason that those two well, I guess I got to be careful with Belichick now, but there's a reason those two had so much success, and it works both ways, right? Some nights you're on the bad end of a scoreboard that you just want to keep getting better, and the Panthers have proven to do that. Now, I'd love for the Tide to get a stop. It is 2nd and goal from back at the 4 yard line after a loss of a yard. Here's a busted play and just pure athleticism from Gonzalez. Him and the tailback both took a false step and it were a busted tight play, but he's able to dive in off a scamper to the right side, and Gonzalez showed some real speed there, and this one's getting interesting. A flag at the end of it. If that's on a Gonzalez, you got to be kidding me. I mean, he dove into the end zone, gave a really half-hearted celebration, and if that's a penalty, that's pitiful. 27-7, and that would benefit the Tide, by the way, but that's a hanky I would hope that they'd hold on to and let a man enjoy a moment as we await the PAT.
Yeah, you would hope so. Clay, I gotta disagree a little bit. When I saw the formation, you got all the trips, you got all the motion over here. I think it was going to be a fake to that side, and he was going to try to go open with it where there was nobody out on the weak side. Maybe not, but certainly I was thinking they would go backside away from all the strength, but maybe hard to tell.
No, it will. Either way, it worked, right? I mean, the reception, either way it came, it worked. And a PAT, no good. That's kind of big news as the Tide missed one earlier in this one. North Shore's returned the favor, and so our score going to be 27-13 after that missed extra point. And, Rick, 7:13 left. There was rumors and hints of potentially a hot clock. No need to discuss that now as the Panthers have outscored the Tide 13-0 here in the second half. And we'll see how it plays out, but as good as the first half was, you had to say equally as bad because you do have a turnover, and thankful for that, right? You look back at that tip pass from Fortenberry that Quinn's able to pick off what this half could have been for the Panthers. And Ty got to get back in gear. That's not always easy to do. You know, you've had some great teams, and Tide, I think this team's going to be really good. But to always think that you can just flip a switch is a bit dangerous. The penalty marker is going to go back and make the Panthers kick it from their own 25. Oh, boy, if that was on their quarterback after a heck of a play, I just have to disagree with that being unsportsmanlike after we've seen so many bodies being thrown around after plays that should have been penalties. I'm just going to agree to disagree. Panthers are going to tee it up and kick it away from their 25. Here's one of those no-man land type kicks, and Fortenberry going to run over, grab it. And I like that he did that, though. He sprints over, grabs it. He's going to run himself out of bounds at the 30. But you can't just hope that that ball finds its way out of bounds. You've got to kind of help it over there if you're my deep guy. And Fortenberry did a good job securing it. Ty going to start this drive at the 30, Ricky Whitaker. And for momentum's sake and to put something that these coaches aren't just going to kill you for next week from the offense, you'd love a drive here. 7-12. Tide just haven't possessed it much in this second half. They've got 7:12 left on the game clock. They lead it 27-13. See what the Tide can come up with. Colt Robertson under center. He'll give it to Zay Dennis. Dennis with some more room to operate here, but the ball came loose, I thought. Nope, a good gain for Dennis to the 43-yard line. About a 13-yard pickup there, Rick, and we'll take it. I thought the pigskin came loose, but with these windows, I've got a bit of a reflection now that that's going to be Junior James running into play. Man, that family is awesome. We remember Christian James and what he gave to this program.
Yep.
Junior, a heck of a soccer player as well. Colt Robertson going to pitch it over to the left side. Good cut back by Zay Dennis. Dennis almost to midfield, gets it to the 49. The Tide's 49, and Dennis trying to cook a little bit here to start this drive. That's a good sign.
Yep, going to be a nice 6-yard pickup there for Dennis.
Dennis got some of that Nick Wash in him. Every time that Nick would come and on and off the field, you thought he was hobbling or hurt or limped, and then as soon as the ball hit his fingertips, it was like turbo speed.
Yep.
Zay kind of carries himself like that off the field. 6 minutes to go in this one, Rick. We'll get the Heat timeout. 27-13 our score. We'll take a 2-minute break with the Heat timeout. We'll return and close this one out with the final 6 minutes. Tied up 27-13 over North Shore.
Rev up your ride with Topper World Truck Accessories, your one-stop shop in Gulfport and Slidell. Come in and talk to our experts on truck caps, tonneau covers, and spray-in bed liners. Topper World has next-day delivery and is offering a $100 rebate on select fiberglass truck caps. Our trained staff can get your truck ready to pull your boat to your favorite fishing hole or your camper to a dream vacation spot. Get to Topper World in Gulfport or Slidell for all your truck accessory needs, or look us up at topperworld.net.
Pit Lane Oil Change, located at 401 Highway 11 in Picayune, is a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the area for 15 years in the same location. They are a full-service oil change shop, servicing cars, trucks, and even servicing diesel trucks. Pit Lane is a Carfax top-rated service center. They are
Tied with a 2nd and 4, looking to throw. Colt Robertson trying to find Ontario Wilkins, and it is caught. A beautiful pass and a nice catch there by Ontario Wilkins. Splashed those orange gloves up and snatched it out of the sky at about the 25. Will fall forward to the 22-yard line. A brilliant play call there by head coach Cody Stogner and Adam Feely, dialing that up after the Heat timeout and have the Tide in business after a 29-yard pass from Colt Robertson to Mr. Wilkins.
Yep, Colt 2 of 2 on the night here in the second half after some drops. Both quarterbacks had some drops for Picayune in the first half, but Colt's connected on 2 good ones.
Yeah, I'd say so, Rick. Both balls, when you think about it, have been perfectly placed. Had a throw earlier in the night on the run. Put it right on the money to Hathorn. This one to Wilkins. We think Wilkins is going to be a pretty good weapon. We saw him try to be connected with last week and unfortunately cramped up just as he went to reach for the football in the end zone. That penalty was against the Tide, turned it to a 1st and 15. Zay Dennis going to go get a bunch of that yardage back as he'll get it to the 24-yard line. About a 6-yard pickup there by Zay Dennis. Dennis has had a nice drive as he's gotten it to the 24 when they finally spot it down. They've done a different job tonight of getting it spotted in the time that it takes. 27-13. Tide on top, trying to tack one on here in the second half. Went into the locker room leading this one 27-0. This is Ald's back in. Greason Ald's going to be dragged down after a very short game. Maybe 1, maybe 2 at the most. Yeah, just a yard gain, and look where they lay it down. Rick, it's 3rd and 10. We've been 3rd and 10 a lot here in this second half, just something you rarely, if ever, see in multiple drives for a Tide offense, but we've seen it in this second half. Going to be a 2 wide receiver set. They'll both go out to the left side. That's Junior James and Jordan Hathorn. It's a give to the Bull. Macon Burnett going to turn a guy over at about the 15 down to the 12-yard line. A big physical run, as that was a great job and really needed. Scratch that. Kane McKinley with a physical run.
Look, he flashed the Bull. He certainly looked like
he
it.
Did. He bowled over a guy.
Needed 10 and got 11. Nice physical run there by McKinley.
At the 15, he ran over a young man. That was when the Bull reference came out. So good job there by Mr. McKinley.
Sure the Bull was proud of him.
Indeed. Ball at the 12-yard line. 1st and 10 from the North Shore 12. Here's Alds. Alds diving forward. Got himself inside the 10 down to the 9. So about a 3.5-yard pickup there for Grayson Alds. Sophomores trying to get a touchdown on the board. McKinley, a sophomore. Alds, a sophomore. Ball rests at the 9. The middle between the two hashes. We're under 3 minutes. We're at the 2:56 mark left in this one. Got Colt Robertson. That is McKinley and Alds, and it's a give to Alds. And he is wrapped up tight, basically at the line of scrimmage, Rick.
And boy, 23 for North Shore Clays, had a lot of tackles tonight. That's Mr. Micah Cooper. Got him listed as a tight end, played a lot of defense tonight.
Yep, and has done a good job, as there's going to be a timeout burned here from the Panthers' perspective. I don't know, Rick. I mean, you're looking at it, 2:37 left. It's not like the game's really still in balance, but for a positive and to put one on the board here in the second half, that's certainly still in the balance, as the Tide have been outscored 13-0 in this half. You know, the Tide would love to punch one in to end this nice drive that they put together.
Yeah, most importantly, you know, the Maroon Tide got the ball with 7:12 to start this drive, and so this is a good long drive, the kind we were talking about that the Maroon Tide needed to kind of put this game away and just put this game as a final.
Yep, that's exactly right. I mean, we were kind of begging for this type of drive with the output that had been shown so far offensively. You're going to have Igana at the fullback. He's to the right of Dennis, offset behind Colt Robertson. 3rd and 5. Here is a bobbled exchange, I believe, between Colt Robertson and Zay Dennis. And who got on the football, Slick? Did we get back on it? It's going to be a loss of a couple yards, and they say that the Tide did indeed get back on it. Colt Robertson, I believe, was able to scramble back and find it and get on it. I'm going to slide to your right, Rick, almost over your shoulder. These double windows are giving me issues on being able to see if the Tide got back on it, but that indeed was Colt Robertson. So Tide with a 4th down situation. We saw a big field goal from Edgar Cruz last week. I thought you did a pretty good job of talking about how Edgar asked to block a whole drive.
Yeah.
You don't even get a chance to change tennis shoes, right? Usually a soccer kid or a kicker has those beautiful shoes. He's still in his lineman-type kicks and came in and made a big kick. We'll see if it's Edgar Cruz on to attempt a field goal or not. I believe that is exactly what we will see. It's going to be spotted at the 16. So going to be a 26-yard attempt for Edgar Cruz. Snap back's good. The hold is good. And Cruz, they're going to say, is no good. Just to the left and no good. So that drive will end with no points. And the Tide remains scoreless here in our second half. Just to recap a few things. Our Topper World top play of the game was the Fortenberry scoop 6 that was scoop and score that resulted in 6 for the Tide, a defensive score. A rib-cracking hit of the game. Rick, you're going to have to remind me. I know we talked about it in the first half. Who did we award out?
It was the block on the touchdown that sprung the second rush from Hawthorne. I believe it was either
that's the Cam McKinley.
Cam or McKinley. We got to figure out who it was.
Cam Quinn or Cam McKinley. We said we were going to double them up and let them get cards with Cam McKinley on and see if we could sneak 2 barbecue plates. Yeah. So
I like that.
Stonewalls there on Canal in Picayune for sponsoring that. We appreciate all of our awesome sponsors for taking care of us. Ball incomplete. Tied on top 27-13 after the missed field goal attempt. Northshore takes over and going to have a missed pass here, incomplete.
No, I was going to read something, but I'll wait till our post game to do that.
2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Gonzalez is loaded up, taking a shot, and it's picked off. Jordan Hathorn going to grab it at midfield. A interception for Jordan Hathorn. That secondary played well last week, has continued that this week. When you look at it, Fortenberry's got a defensive touchdown. Cam Quinn's got a pick, and now Jordan Hathorn from that secondary has a takeaway as well. So Picayune going to get it right around midfield, a chance to put this one on ice.
Yeah, Clint, while we're getting ready to start here, what we think is going to be a couple of knees and game, just want to remind everyone, 2025 Tide Cup Golf Tournament, going to have 2-person teams. Entry fee is $80 a player. There's going to be some cash prizes for the top 3 teams. Hole in one wins a car. That's going to be November 2nd at 11 a.m., Millbrook Country Club. You can get a Tide Cup sponsor for $500, driving range sponsor $250, team sponsor $160, hole sponsor $100. If you're interested in doing that on November 2nd at 11 a.m., call Mr. Timmy Kraft, 601-273-0649.
Great job with that read. Ricky Whitaker, get out and support the Tide baseball program. And here's Agana. Look at Colin Agana going to go from midfield to about the 35-yard line. Good 15 run there by Colin. He's got such a bright future on both sides of the football. As you see that sophomore class showing itself tonight. Play good football. 2-minute mark will roll by it. What a sneaky, great sports day. U.S. Open men's semifinals today. Baseball going on. You've got a NFL game and, of course, high school football. You get a sneaky early September, really good Friday sports day. I'll take it. I'm going to dive ahead. That's Colin Agana. Man, what about the access, the relationships with the coaches and players, Rick, that we've been able to create?
Oh, they've been great to us, man, with access and letting us kind of peek in. I know you're at practice a lot, get to really know these kids and follow them, and I hope it comes across that we genuinely love them and love what we do. You say it, but I think sometimes it's easy to miss. We got full-time jobs. This is not a paying job for us. We do it because we love it.
Absolutely, man. And look, we appreciate Jackson Harrelson up top. He's done a good job tonight on the video stream. We appreciate Diamond Productions for helping us, of course, with that. Tide trying to close this one out in style, have it inside the 20-yard line down to the 19. That was Agana again. Agana's kind of that guy at the end of the bullpen with nasty stuff. He may be a closer of sorts for this Picayune offense, Rick. He's a big kid, sophomore, hungry for the football, and we saw him late in Gulfport. Look, you've been taking body blows from that size offensive line. The last thing you want's a sophomore at 5'10", 225 just jamming it down your throat late in the ball game, but that's what we saw Agana do to the Admirals. Now he's doing it to the Panthers. Tide lead it 27-13. There's a player injured on the field. Tide have gotten it inside the red zone down at the 19 of North Shore.
And Agana doing exactly what you said, Clay, closing this thing out. Maroon Tide had the ball on the 35-yard line to start, had a 15-yard pickup on his first drive, and then picks up 5 on his second drive, picks up 11 on that last drive. So he's doing exactly that. A couple more runs from him, this thing should be over. Todd may be able to take a knee here. I think North Shore still has a couple of timeouts left.
After the game, make sure you check out the post-game podcast. You can find that. You're subscribed to the Talking Ball Y'all podcast. That'll be available. Will be interviews with the coaches and the players as the final knee has been hit. Or both teams kind of going through the motions there. Right now, I'm starting to do math. That's not the case. They were both kind of loving and hugging on one another. Now that should do it. As the Tide going to hit that final knee. Colt Robertson hits the knee. That should do it. 27-13. Tide going to take it over North Shore tonight as Coach Sanders makes his way over to greet Cody Stogner. Tide going to run its record out to 2-0 on the year. 2 fine wins on the road. North Shore are going to drop down to 0-1 on the year, and they will have John Curtis next. You talk about an ice bath. You'd sit in that thing for a while after those 2 opponents come to town. And Tide take it 27-13 as we roll down to all zeros as we head into our Pearl River Community College post-game show in Exotic Stones. We appreciate Angela and Kelly, the way that they support us in a bunch of different ways. Rick basically take us to raise in some ways, just loving on us, praying for us, and pulling us through with a little financial help too. Sometimes that's the best kind of loving, and we appreciate Angela and Kelly and Exotic Stones. But let's look at, Rick, that second half scoring summary. Only one to talk about really from the Tide perspective. North Shore was able to cash in twice, but let's give the listeners and viewers there that Pearl River Community College and Exotic Stones post-game summary.
Yeah, Maroon Tide took a 27-0 lead into the second half. Come out on their first drive, penalties lead to a punt. Then we have a long touchdown run by Gonzalez. Maroon Tide's second drive, they turn over on downs. Their third drive, missed PAT by Edgar Cruz, had a pick by Cam Quinn. We had a Hawthorne interception and another 5-yard TD run by Gonzalez, so that made the game a lot closer than it probably looks on paper. 27-13. Sorry, it made it look a lot closer than it really was, but 27-13 was your final. So outside of a couple of defensive interceptions, not a whole lot of good from the coaching staff's perspective, I'm sure, from their offense in the second half.
Yep, the thing that you can kind of hold on to, Rick, is we're going to see some passing teams down the stretch. When you look at Pascagoula, they're going to want to be probably 50-50. We're going to see the pass game. When you look at Gaucher, just looking at some of their stuff, they may be even more than 50-50. Ocean Springs, Biloxi. What I'm babbling, I like our secondary, man. I really came into the year being so excited about both fronts, but our secondary continues to impress me, and so I'm proud of that fact. And they turned the Panthers over a few times tonight, won for a score. And so the Tide with basically a perfect first half. Didn't play as well in the second, but did enough in the first to hold on, get itself to 2-0. And Rick, we get to call a game from the house next week as Biloxi will come in to Lee Triplett Stadium. You would expect and hope for a really good crowd with the way this team has played these first couple weeks.
I think so, and it's been a lot of really shockers. We were talking about Poplarville being down to Stone at the half. Pascagoula down to Biloxi. I believe that score was 21-0 at the half, and a lot of interesting things happening, man. But that's what makes football so fun and why we love it. It can be unpredictable, but you got to make sure you bring your A game every week.
Yep, and we kind of proved that in the second half, too. Like, you let your guard down. These opponents that Coach Steigner and Coach Feely and the administration have put together, they're going to be able to test you each and every week. Some final numbers. Rick, I mentioned those coaches. We want to mention them all. Adam Feely, the offensive and kind of help on that side, and the job that he does as an administrator over at the high school as well. Seth Hayden, man, I've got a deeper look into what he is and what him and Tyler Smith, Tyler Penton, Coach Hart, what they do on the 9th grade level, man, I thought I had a pretty good idea, but my kid walking through that program has given me a different perspective. Of course, Seth Hayden, the defensive coordinator, Tyler Smith, the defensive line coach, Coach Penton, all around helping Peyton Wells. We got to listen to him last week and kind of what he's contributing in his first year up next to us in the booth. We certainly appreciate Peyton Wells, a guy who's been so good to us as part of the podcast. We're certainly welcoming him on the staff. And then Neil Lawler, a longtime friend of ours, helping with the special teams, helping with the linebackers. He's done a good job. And then Coach Hart, man. Coach Hart, a guy quick with a hug of our necks. He's really provided us with a bunch of insight over the years. We talked about Coach Poole, the way that he helps with this group that we've talked about. Like, Coach Poole does a tremendous job with this defensive secondary. We certainly appreciate all of those guys, athletic trainer and Edgar Wood. So just to give them all a little bit of love for the way that they handle this program. We talked about relationships. A lot of those names that we just read off are part of the fun that it is covering Maroon Tide football. Rick, did I interrupt you on the numbers?
No, you did not, man. I'll give the final numbers for the night. Jordan Hawthorne had 50 yards on 2 carries, also had 2 rushing touchdowns, had a reception for 22 yards. Zay Dennis led the way, 18 rushes for 82 yards and a touchdown. Jamari Hawthorne, 3 for 25. Macon Burnett mixed in 1 for 7 yards. Kane McKinley, 2 for 15. Kyle Nagana, 4 for 42. They carried a really good yards per carry average into the first half, but into the second half, not nearly as good, but still a really good number. 38 rushes total, 227 yards, 3 touchdowns, and nearly 6 yards per carry. That's a pretty good night. Colt Robertson, 2 of 3 for 51 yards. We had a couple of passes by Rayburn. He was 0 for 2 on the night, but did have a couple of drops for his. So overall, a pretty good night. You got the win on the road, and you leave here 2-0.
Absolutely, and can't wait to do the preview pod early in the week next week. But before then, make sure you check out the post-game pod. You can find that on any podcast platform. Just search up Talking Ball Y'all. So until you hear from us again, love God, love people.